Look, I mean, my presence fell. I burned a lot of bridges in that building. What is the deal? Welcome to the No Pick Show. I'm your host, chedda-chaz. I'm on my dog, Just A Davis, host of PELS and a Blender, co-host of this show as well, man. How you doing, brother? Happy Memorial Day to you.
Happy Memorial Day, dog. Shout out to all the people that serve the country, left their lives out there. Shout out to y'all, man.
Shout out to all the soldiers out there. Shout out to everybody, No Limit Records. And shout out to all the veterans, man. My grandfather was in Vietnam. Friends of mine, older friends of mine, like mentors of mine, Desert Storms. I got a lot of people that serve, man. We appreciate all y'all. Much love to all you guys. Thank you for your sacrifice. Yo, what's up with your savage? Shout out to everybody in the building. Also, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Shout out to all the members, man. Y'all been running it up. Y'all been running it up. And look, my dog, Louisiana girl, look, today we got a lot to talk about. And Louisiana girl, she's interested, like as it pertains to this subject. I'll say that. Jaden, what's up with your homie? Michael Morgan, what's good with your brother? How you doing, man? Happy holidays to everyone in the building. So Coach Mosley just touched down. He just landed in New Orleans with his beautiful family. Welcome, Coach. He was here before. Look, I do think some media coverage gets a little creepy. No disrespect, no knock to Fletcher Mackle, but I don't need to know what the man ate. Like, he went to this restaurant, he ate this and ate that, and he tipped the motherfucker $50. Like that's getting a little creepy. So it's a bit creepy. It's a bit I don't know. It's a bit overseer-ish. Yeah. Just relax. So as time is going on, they also hired Sham God, who Louisiana first mentioned on this show, because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm offended when me and you talking about something and our dog Louisiana gal might come on the show. She might say something and she might drop a few jewels or what have you. And we get everything first on this show for the most part. What's happening with your J. Cal? We get everything first on this show for the most part. And I'm God body. I ain't gonna hold it. I'm God body. I represent that 7. So people ain't know who the fucking Sham guy was like that. Like y'all think some of these people knew who the guy Sham guy was? No. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. How do you feel about Coach Mosley touching down? And do you think the tune and the tenor is starting to change a little bit pertaining to his hiring?
Absolutely. 1000%. And like, again, man, it was Rondo. And then it's kind of like, all right,
still a little Rondo, to be honest.
It's still a little Rondo. And it's still a possibility that he could be on the staff. It ain't completely written off yet. But like, it's exactly what the fuck we thought it was going to be. Facts. Like, everybody was just overreacting. And listen, I'm emotional too. But at some point, you just kind of got to understand when people are doing business the way business is supposed to be handled. Then you just be like, all right, cool. This is like, you're supposed to be happy that this is the way it's supposed to go. So people were shitting on Mosley like, oh, he's just going to hire so-and-so. But then when you do a little bit, like, nobody did the research about Mosley and where he came from. New guy, Sham guy was, with them when they was in Dallas. And then, you know what I mean? And then how long they've been around. So it's just, that's just kind of the way it go. And I what I do like about the hire with Mosley and then bringing over Sham God is that he did receive, and I think you said this too, but he received a promotion to come here. That's what people don't know. Like,
so it wasn't a lateral move.
No, it wasn't. So like when he was in Orlando, to my knowledge, he was like, kind of similar to not what Rondo was doing, but Rondo wasn't really on the bench.
Right.
Sham God coming here is like an actual on the bench position.
He's officially a part of the staff.
He's officially a part of the staff.
Not necessarily like when you got time, developmental.
Yeah, you work with Anthony Black when you get opportunity. It's like, no, you're actually a part of the staff. You're an actual NBA, assistant coach, which is a step for him. So shout out to him. Shout out to Mosley for creating that opportunity for him. A lot of people don't know the other 2 coaches that were mentioned. I cannot think of their names off the top of my head, but they've been on Jamahl Mosley's staff also.
Right, I remember you mentioning that as well.
Yeah, been on his staff since he took the job in Orlando. So people just kind of like, yeah, I know he's mentioning bringing in some of those people with him, and it's like, dog, let's think about this just real quick, because I know we talk about the coaching staff, but if you took a new gig, right?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Dale Osborne and Brett Braillemeyer.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, those two. No, you good. Those two have been with him since day one in Orlando, right?
Right.
If you getting ready to take a gig, Chaz, right? You probably got a team of people around you. If you know you've been doing this, you think you gonna go start something completely new and take a whole bunch of strangers with you?
No, I'm gonna call. I'm calling Elvin, Chris, Ross, just like 5. I'm calling people I know. Yeah,
I'm calling my team. It's like, listen, I got this gig. I want to do a good job. I think I could be great, but I need my people with me to make sure they push me. They put the, you know what I mean? Like we could do what we came here to do.
Can I ask you this now, just to have a little bit of pushback? And shout out to my dog, most hated in the building, also targeted for life as well. Shout, and I ain't see him, but shout out to Authentic Dude. I know he's a troop as well. Support all the troops, man. Much love to all the troops out there, here and abroad. Do you have a fear or some hesitancy about them potentially bringing in too many former coaches from Orlando? And I'm sorry, bro. Shout out to Chris Lambert, my dog, Chris Lambert, Canadian.
What up, Chris?
Canada's finest. He just did a great sit down with Edge, aka Adam Copeland, who I'm a big fan of. You know, I'm a WWF.
Ooh, the Edge. I do remember him saying he was getting ready to put that out.
Yep, the rated R superstar. So we're gonna get Chris on the show this upcoming week, and make sure y'all read Chris at the Pelicans Debrief. A lot of great content over there. So what do you think? Do you think that potentially they could be adding too many former Orlando Magic head coaches, given their shortcomings offensively?
I think it's two things I think about that. First, no. Okay. Because they haven't completely filled the staff with just the Orlando staff. So if you bring in a couple people to make you comfortable, I'm all right with that. That's probably part of taking this position. Like, look, you can't fully pick my entire staff. Like, I need I need a couple of my people with me to come be able to do this job. So I'm okay with that. They do have other coaching spots open, which they'll probably fill with new people. People not from the staff. But also hypothetically, I don't think they're doing this, but let's just say hypothetically, they do bring the entire Orlando staff over, right?
Right.
Which staff was better? The Orlando staff or any version of the fucking Pelican staff that we didn't have?
Now that leads me to another question. Do you have any fear about them potentially losing Coach James Borrego to the Chicago Bulls? What up with you, spectacular? I'm saying, do you have any fear? Like, you're losing the fucking dog. Somebody behind me.
You asked me if I had fear losing Borrego? Yeah. You meant that?
In a way. Nah.
No, man.
Here's the thing, too. Also, James Borrego, former Orlando Magic interim head coach. I think a lot of the shortcomings in Orlando had more to do with the roster than anything else. You got Jonathan Isaac, who rarely ever played, also can't really shoot. Suggs had a terrible shooting year this season. Also, that's not necessarily Paolo's game. And from what I've heard and read and seen, they Mosley wanted Paolo to put more emphasis on using his large frame to attack the rim. Is it Wendell Carter Jr.? He's okay shooter for a big man, but not exemplary. And Contavious Caldwell-Pope, that was a bit of a disaster when they ultimately signed him. So they didn't have a ton of things that would lead to a spectacular offense, if we're being honest.
So shout out to Louisiana Gal for her comment talking about the people that he did bring over first, and that was
I'm sorry, just for the audio listeners. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He said he brought the guy who helped bring the defense and his two best talent developers and communicators. Yep. So Anthony Black, as Louisiana Gal mentioned before, and Anthony Black, he was saddened when Sham got left. He was like, damn, he actually said the one person that had my back. Damn, nobody in the organization believe in you.
Bro, Anthony Black, you got to the first, I think it was the first 2 seasons for Anthony Black was rough. He couldn't get off the bench damn near.
Yeah, his first 2 seasons were rough.
Facts. But what was he saying?
We were speaking about just the staff
and the offense and stuff.
Yeah, the offensive system.
So like from listening to the people that have been speaking out about all of the Orlando people that speak about Mosley and, you know, all of the things that they had to say on the way out is that the offense that he ran and the style, the reason him and Paolo clashed so much is because the style of offense that Mosley wanted to play wasn't really, because it was similar to how Brandon was with Willie, or when Borrego first came, and how Brandon was scrap the offense basically.
Yeah, I'm going rogue. Shit, you can say Brandon's like that in Toronto right now, truthfully.
So, I don't want to say to a lesser degree, but you had a little bit of that going on with Paolo and Mosley. So what I did was watch the games that they played when Paolo is not out, is not in the games, right? And if you look at all of the numbers, the offensive numbers of when Franz is the main guy, bro, the offense is one of the like one of the better offenses in the league. And it's not saying that Paolo is not a good player or nothing like that. This ain't got nothing to do with Paolo. We talking strictly about style of play and the way that he wants to play the game. If you go watch, they up and down the court, they in the fucking you know what I mean? They attacking the paint, kickouts, all pick and rolls, bro.
Ball stopping necessarily.
Yeah. Yes, bro. Yes, like it's a completely different style of game to a degree. So, you know, I was doing the homework on all that, which I was again
and telling people where you were doing it, the homework at. It was on PELS in the Blender, right?
Yeah, PELS in the Blender, absolutely. And then I put some of the clips out. So like the thing that I can see with Mosley coming over is that if we can get the Pelicans players out of like the ball stopping mentality, because most of these motherfuckers got that we gotta go ISO and dog, it's one pass and they doing like one pass and we gotta get the shot up. If we can establish the discipline and whatnot, then I think you'll see more like Mosley's offense is gonna look significantly better than anything I think we've seen. And that's not even knowing what new coaching he plans on bringing in.
So that sounds like you don't want to see this Big Bay post up.
No,
and this is not anything against Sadiq Bey. It's just like,
so listen,
a lot of people like fallacy that's an efficient shot. It's not a very efficient shot.
Listen, bro, I'm dead ass serious. I've watched about 9 Paolo games, right? 9 Paolo games. I watched about 5 Orlando Magic games from this season. If Paolo's not on the court, bro, there's no posting up. Like nobody is, like the court is spread downhill, pick and roll. Like, so even when I went back and watched the Pelicans game, this is what I mean. Part of my opinion, and you'll know this too, and I won't be long-winded with it, but think about this for a second. When Z really broke out under Stan Van Gundy, what was Z doing? Top of the key, point guard, attacking the rim in space, not fucking posting up, facing up, trying to isolate and score on people, right? If you look at a lot of how Z was used this year, bro, on the wing, on the post up, and then if he's not in the corner, it's just kind of like, dog, this shit not conducive to like great offense. And then even if he did post up, it took forever to get the ball, bad pass, and it's just ridiculous. So I said that to say I don't think we'll see many Sadiq Bey, you know what I mean? Respectfully, third.
It's utilization.
Yeah, like your third or fourth or fifth or sixth best player posting up most of the game.
Yeah, and shout out to everybody in the building. We got 50 people in the building. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. So I want this. You mentioned Zion, and I titled this video with Coach Mosley and Zion added to the bag. So we see Zion in the gym putting in the work. It is what year? See, I don't really count the years where a motherfucker didn't play at all. But let's just say this is year 6 or 7, right? So because I just, it's hard for me to count the years where a player didn't play whatsoever. But so
the NBA don't count it. If it's you out your whole rookie year, you come back the next year as a rookie.
Yeah, it just it just seems like, damn, it's been a long time. But some new things have finally happened. Shout out to Joe in the building. Say, can we hold up? I see your comment. Spectacular. I just started your question, bro. Shout out to Joe in the building, and I want to show you some of these highlights. With trainer Chris, who we hope to have on the show soon. Shout out to Chris, man. Okay, now full transparency. When you see things like that, right? Oh, is that to you similar to seeing Mitchell Robinson shooting threes in the offseason, Ben Simmons shooting threes in the offseason? Or is it something that you're just like, no cigar?
Shoulder shrug. It's like, no, like it's not necessarily no cigar. What I want to see is I just want to see Z playing fives.
Yeah, like, we'll see him with some get some actual talent on the court.
I just want to see him implementing what you're doing, like the working out. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Durant talk all the time about like, no, I just played fives. I think that's a bad. The Zion hasn't improved. It's ridiculous in my opinion. That's just me. But like, no, bro. Like I just want to see. I want to see him. What I do look at is you already working out at this point, this early in the summer. I think that's the good sign. More than anything, I think that's the best sign. You didn't spend your summer rehabbing. You didn't spend your summer trying to get your body right. Like
you actually have to hit the ground running.
This is the first, like one of the first summers you get an opportunity to like work on your game. And they didn't show that motherfucker dunking or posting up or nothing like that. So, and again, even if you go watch some of the early games from last year, he was willing to shoot some of the jumpers early in the game. He wasn't breaking them bitches out a lot. But again, when you one of the most dominant people in the paint, like how often you want me to shoot them hoes?
Yeah, I think generally anytime I see Zion not injured or not appearing in weird shape, questionable shape, or if it's just a drama-free off season, it's a positive step. What up with your game, Osborne? How you doing, fam? You know, I wouldn't say optimistic. I will say I'm aware of the facts. I'm aware of who he's working with. I'm aware of the team that they're surrounding themselves with. I'm also aware of Joe Dumars and his quest for excellence and the bar he's setting for Zion and for certain guys to step up to the plate. You know, there was some talk. Personally, I don't really like addressing this, but there was some talk. Shout out to Jeff Teague and his show, and there was some Trey Murphy talk. And I just have to say this, not to go on a tangent, but
not a tangent.
I don't necessarily. I know people like, well, Jeff Teague is not a fan of the Indiana Pacers. I'm like, whatever. Jeff Teague is from Indiana, right? The point he made about like, yo, Trey, you know, you went to the Pacers, you'd be an all-star. And I'm like, there's really no like there's no evidence to support that. Yeah, there's no evidence to support that. There's no A to B tangible evidence to support that. Mind you, this year, right? Brandon Ingram with similar numbers was an all-star injury reserve, meaning he wasn't a reserve. Somebody got injured and he was the backup to the backup. So now I do think that Trey has all-star talent. We just haven't seen it translated on the court just yet. Same with Brandon. Brandon was I think he was an injury reserve before, but I do believe he also has all-star talent. But it's like, based on what, and truthfully, the Pacers, if we're just going by the facts, were worse than the Pelicans this past year, bro. I don't want to hear that we was tanking shit, because when I initially was upset about trading that pick right prior to the game 7, people told me you're overreacting, because that team is still going to be good without Halliburton. And man, thoughts and prayers to Halliburton. Halliburton is going through a lot right now.
Man, I think people and everything.
He got shingles, you know what I'm saying? And he's a young man. He's coming back from the Achilles injury, medication kind of fucking him up. And I'm like, I think you kind of crazy if you think Halliburton is about to come back and just be the guy he was during that playoff run. Because remember when Halliburton came back from the hamstring, people thought done or whatever, or something along those lines. It was like, bro, people thought Halliburton wasn't gonna be good anymore. I think that was a major overreaction. But I just wanted to speak on it. What did you think about Jeff Teague's comments? And we can pivot because we got some more Halliburton, Maxey, Kyrie to have.
To be honest, like Trey's off-season approach is, you could tell Trey indifferent about being here, in my opinion. Not that you, at least that's how it appears, right?
Okay.
Because I think part of it is you get sick of losing. You got a lot of these media friends, and you can't really defend the team at all. They be fucking, all of that. They be teasing y'all basically, and you can't really say much because y'all haven't won. But
now, I'm sorry. What you can't, I'm just saying, what you can say is, bitch, you're talking about me. Like, you can say that. Go ahead.
Like defend yourself, dog. So like that's part of the part that like kind of blow me a little bit when I listen to the interviews and whatnot. It's just kind of like, so you just kind of letting them run down on our team real quick, talking about you could be this if you were there. And it's like, well, if Trey was doing what he was supposed to, he could also be that here. He's part of the reason that the team is what it is. But as far as that comment goes, like realistically, I'm just kind of like, ain't nothing guaranteed nowhere, dog. You can, a lot of people say people leave here and then they succeed. That's not always guaranteed, bro. Again, Trey could leave and find him. True. Yeah, Trey could leave and find himself in a much worse situation than what he was in. For example, Mikal Bridges went to Brooklyn and putting up all those numbers and stuff like that. If I'm not, did he make All-Star?
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did, right? And he was putting up crazy numbers over there. Michael Porter Jr.
7 35-point games, if I'm not mistaken.
Michael Porter Jr. just not like, and that's not to say that team wouldn't win, but it's not guaranteed that you're going to win. Michael Porter Jr. went to Brooklyn, same crazy numbers, still no All-Star. And that's not to say, I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but that's not even to say that Trey will put up those kinds of numbers in that situation by himself. So,
My feelings about all of this is, I don't want to necessarily project to, what I think Trey's line of thinking is, that I don't have any clear idea. I do agree with you, though. I feel like it's kind of like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I wouldn't mind being traded, but I ain't asking for a trade neither. And it makes sense. And I think for some of the fan base, I can understand them too. Kind of like, look, bro, do it or don't, because ultimately we're not thrilled with our return of what we had hoped for. Some of that's been injury. A lot of that has been coaching along with injury, and some of that has been like, just skill set and development, right? Which I kind of think all ties into coaching and injury personally. I'm still a person who would love to see Trey succeed with the Pelicans, but I do understand how some people, you just get tired. Like, I know how some people got tired of the Zion thing, or they're already tired. Like Spectacular, for example, he's tired. I know some people tired of the Trey thing. Like, I'm tired of hearing about this every year. Like, I totally get it and totally understand. But to pivot a little bit, right, to Rich Paul, right? Rich Paul, the man with the plan, one of the most got it out the mud, successful brothers in the game. He had some comments today, and I bring this up because this was like a hot topic on Twitter today as it pertains to the New Orleans Pelicans and David Griffin. And I'm gonna have a lot to say about this after this clip. But let's hear what the brother got to say. Fair use also. Don't try to shut us down. Fair use.
But they won't get you home.
Right.
They'll hold you up, but they won't get you home. And he's right.
They can light the way.
Because here's the thing about analytics. We talked about it. The reason why I don't like analytics, when Tyrese Maxey was coming out, I hate to tell you this, I begged the Pelicans, guys, Pelicans was one of the first teams I allowed in the gym to see Tyrese Maxey. I'm telling them, look, they had the 13th pick. Oh, man. But he don't really shoot the three that well. I said, what tape are you watching? Because what type of threes is he shooting? Is it a grenade at the bottom of his feet?
Right.
Like, is Cal screaming and yelling? Did he just take him out the game and don't put him in the game for 4 minutes, then put him back in? Like, what type of threes you talking about? I just saw this guy make 25 threes in a row. You see the same thing I saw.
Every fan knows the type of three that a guy's, like a shot where the guy's supposed to hit that shot. He got the ball on his steps in rhythm, And the type of shot where you're like, I didn't think that.
Right. Analytics does not tell what type of heart you have in key moments of the game to make a wide open shot. You think analytics said,
it's a tool. I agree. This is why James Harden was the darling of the analytics community. Luka Doncic is now. I don't think that style of play that Harden played and that Luka.
That actually reminds me a lot about the Ja Morant conversation. Like, he can't shoot. Like, Ja Morant hits big buckets, bro.
Yeah,
he's a winner. But when you see that, what do you think? What are your initial thoughts? Because I know that bothered you a lot today.
Like, without knowing, like, everybody like we wanting to break down. Oh well, fucking and this is what I want to say about Rich Paul. This is what I want to say about Rich Paul. Because shout out to Rich Paul for this one. Do I think that there's a little bit of like
cap?
Maybe, but not really.
Not a lot of cappuccino.
Not a lot of cap, but
right,
possibly, right? Like, this is what I mean by that. Do I think that if Tyrese Maxey was projected to go late, like, for whatever reason, he was slipping out of the lottery. Word was getting back, he was slipping out of the lottery, right? If I'm doing my job to call David Griffin, who got picked 13, looking for a point guard, and say, though, look, I got a guy. I think this guy will be right for y'all team. Y'all need to be one of the first people to look at him, right? I just feel like even if he called more than just the Pelicans, that's him doing his job.
Right.
Like, that's exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
There's also some money incentive there also.
That's more, exactly. I'm not saying that, like, the money incentive is more reason that I believe that he makes the call.
Right. 13, like, versus 20
I don't care what the reason is. We ain't talking about the reasoning.
Right.
Did the call get made?
Did it happen?
And did you see Tyrese Maxey work out and look awesome? I just can't believe that you watch Tyrese Maxey work out and you watch Kyra Lewis work out and you still decided to go with Kyra Lewis.
You know, I think a lot of it probably was Griff's affinity for athletes, like with Jackson Hayes and Kyra Lewis, who I both think, I mean, look, they busted my ass in basketball easily, but I don't think either one of them have like any type of NBA quality skill. Maybe Kyra's speed and maybe Jackson's like height and athleticism, but as far as like tangible skills, not talent, skill, I don't think it's there. And I think Griff just had an affinity for like raw prospects. Pause. Well, no way is David Griffin, so no pause. I think he had an affinity for raw prospects. And here's the thing, right? Because to me, I understand when people say, and I'm not talking about Squallow, I get Squallow's point as far as how Rich Paul named the Pelicans. But like when people say like what other guys passed on them, it's like, yo, at the end of the day, you got to judge yourself by the teams that do the right thing. You measure yourself against the teams that do the right things, not necessarily versus the teams that fuck up. Louisiana Gale said he's not lying. He spoke to Griff multiple times to try to get him in NOLA. Griff thought Kyra was more athletic and would look better on the run with Zion. See, and to me, David Griffin, truthfully, is just a terrible talent evaluator. And I have a list here I'm going to go over, and not just David Griffin.
I'll go back to Langdon too. Listen, yes, go back up to Louisiana Girls earlier. No, the one before that. Dog, that was Trajan's pick.
Yeah, like bro, like again, Trajan get away with a lot because he played the background. He's stoic. You know what I'm saying?
Talk a lot.
And Griff talking is out front. So he's gonna open himself up to more criticism because he's the one he's setting the lofty expectations. Trajan fucking sucked. Okay, Trajan was trash.
Trajan first pick in Detroit hadn't panned out either.
Bro, Troy Weaver as a general manager in the draft has done significantly better than Trajan. Troy Weaver got 2 All-NBA guys.
Absolutely.
Two All-NBA guys. Trajan Langdon, if you want to credit him, because every year the shit changes. Every year it was Trajan found Herb. No, it was Bryson really who found Herb. It was never David Griffin, oddly enough. But that's one draft. Everybody, these motherfuckers had one cool year where you got Trey, Herb Jones, if I'm not mistaken, was in that draft. Jose, and they signed Najee as a free agent. I think Jose was a free agent as well.
I think Najee was the year before that too.
Najee was the year before that. Yeah, because he was in the Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, he was with the Kyra Lewis.
So it's like, how long you about to like flex your nuts on some shit like that, bro? Like, if we want to get into the mistakes, let's get into the mistakes, bro. Because I said this years ago. And look, when I was on the old network, this is something that I had a real issue with. And motherfucker kind of told me, don't say that. Like, don't talk about Bryson. I'm sorry, Trajan at the time. Trajan was there. They didn't want to go there with Trajan for some reason. Fuck Trajan, right? Here's the list of Trajan and David Griffin's mistakes.
And Bryson by extension.
I don't know what Bryson did.
Now let me no, fuck that. I'm throwing Bryson under the bus.
You know what, Bryson? If you was an associate GM or assistant GM, you got to get into. And I'm gonna take a step further. Swing cash too. All you motherfuckers. Swing cash too.
The entire front office, because
the entire front office apparatus.
Yes,
fuck them all.
Yes.
Because you motherfuckers were disasters, bro. Like, check this out. This is insane, right? This read like a motherfucking terrorist demand list, right? You kept Drew Holiday after the Zion trade. Well, after the Anthony Davis trade. You kept Drew Holiday a season too long. Talking about this is Drew Holiday's team. He need permission to dominate.
Oh my God.
Whatever. You S&M zesty freaky motherfucker David Griffin, right? You traded for
with that shit right there.
You traded for in Solomon Hill you traded for 8. You drafted Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We already know how that went. You drafted Kyra Lewis over Tyrese Maxey. We know how that went. Dyson Daniels never became a point guard. He's now a wing defender in fucking Atlanta on a crazy contract that they'll be trying to get rid of soon. You drafted Jordan Hawkins at 14? Terrible, right? The Devontae Graham sign and trade, right? I think you traded it via sign and trade. You traded a protected first, if I'm not mistaken. Then you traded 4 seconds to get rid of this motherfucker to the San Antonio Spurs. No disrespect to Devontae Graham. I hope they had worked out, but it didn't. You tried to squeeze the Chicago Bulls for Laurie Marketing and draft incentive as well, if I'm not mistaken. Draft assets as well. And a trade for Lonzo. You ended up sending them Lonzo for fucking Tomas Satoransky and Garrett Temple, who you were playing real minutes. Terrible. Yes. Nice suits. Garrett Temple people got some nice suits, but fuck out of here. Firing Stan Van Gundy after one season, be it the COVID season. You didn't get shit for Brandon Ingram in the trade. You got Kelly Olynyk, a top 4 protected Indiana pick, and Bruce Brown. You could have gotten RJ Barrett. You could have walked away with something. You walked away with shit. A bunch of teams, Toronto being one of them that I know of, especially, was interested in trading a second-round pick for Najee Marshall. You let Najee Marshall walk. A ton of teams, Celtics, etc., were interested in trading for Javonte Green. You let Javonte Green walk for nothing. Didi Lozada, Nicolo Melli. And look, this is how you know Didi Lozada and Nicolo Melli were absolutely Trajan's picks, because Trajan had an affinity for European players or overseas players. Guys never did shit. The man allegedly was on the juice. Now, I ain't mad that he was on the juice. I appreciate you trying to get an advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks.
You're trying to get an advantage. Look, I hate to say this, but motherfucker told me this, right? Look, I know that, and this person who told me this, they be stealing shit anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Person told me that Swing Cash's job with the Pelicans, this is what I was told. Swing Cash's job with the Pelicans was just to remember people's birthdays and give them like cakes and like the players. Like, she was pretty much like, you know, player
personnel, like keep people happy.
She was like they surrogate mom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey knucklehead, today your birthday, like, you know. And it helps that she was a sister for PR reasons, you know. It helps, you know. But man, fuck all that. I'm blaming her for the Jordan Hawkins pick because the UConn connection. I ain't just saying nothing to do with her as a player, and I'm blaming Teresa Witherspoon, nothing to do with her as a player, for the Kyra Lewis connection, because both of them have connections there. I don't like it. They set this organization back quite a bit. Yeah, Solomon Hill was Dale Demps. Griff attached pick 4 to trade Solomon Hill for pick 8. That's what I'm saying. What's your thoughts, bro, on this prior front office? Because I think this prior front office got away with murder. They went out of their way to kiss some local media ass. I'm talking about boy, that's why y'all gotta become members. Because now I might drop an episode tonight. But go ahead.
Listen, my biggest thing is people talk about the roster, right? The roster from 3 to 15 was great. I'm like, no, the fuck it wasn't. Like, it's not to say that for all of the stuff you named, right?
3 to 15. Which roster?
None of them. But
okay.
None of, in my opinion, none of them. No, to me, JJ Redick, when you brought JJ Redick in, was washed. Like
the second year, especially. And he requested out, bro.
And like JJ Redick, when you brought JJ Redick in, gave you nothing. Who was the big man that they brought in from Utah? That he had the family.
Oh, Derek Favors. They traded the first.
Derek Favors. You brought
traded the first for Derek Favors also.
Derek Favors, supposed to be your center of the future. Steven Adams came in and like you couldn't produce nothing, and it wasn't even necessarily Steven Adams. People talk about Z, they spent years trying to figure out
what to
do. They just was trying to figure out what to do. Then you circle back and you get JV. Then you just let JV roll out for nothing.
You didn't even trade JV as an expiring.
You ain't trade JV. You let JV roll out for nothing. So like Larry Nance, they traded Larry Nance.
Wait, JV. Shout out to JV. JV. I ain't gonna say who.
Bledsoe.
JV hugged one of the former coaches, right? And he was kind of like heartbroken. He was like, "I love you, but I'll never see you again." It's like Jonas said this before. Like, shout out to Jonas, man. And look, Jonas deserved better, man. We fucked over Jonas on the way out. Well, we didn't do shit. They fucked over Jonas on the way out. For real.
Bro, JV played all of the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, was the ultimate Iron Man.
And look, you had a quality defense with him at the 5. Not in the pick and roll, he was getting killed in the pick and pop. But JV as a rebounder helped you tremendously.
Though your best years were when JV was on the court, and you were honest. Even what you was trying to do with Larry Nance was hurting Larry Nance more because you was putting because you was giving him way too many minutes.
Now I will say this. Now I'm gonna say this. This is what I was told. This is what I was told. I'm spilling the beans tonight. I'm snitching. This is what I was told about the Larry Nance shit. And shout out to everybody in the building. We got close to 90 people in the building. Hit the like button, man. Once we get to 60 likes, I'm gonna run this up to y'all. But Larry Nance was kind of forcing the issue with him playing.
I'm not surprised. You can tell.
Remember, David Griffin and Larry Nance got a relationship going back to Cleveland. So he was forcing the issue for them to play him, and everybody just fell in line. You know what I'm saying? They was letting him do it. Jonas was totally disrespected, fam.
Yeah, bro, absolutely bullied by it. So like when people talk about the front office and people talk about the coach staff, it's like, wait a minute, it was plenty of bringing in Dyson to be the point guard. Like, don't tell me what you brought Dyson in, like what Dyson turned out to be. Atlanta brought Dyson in to do what Dyson is doing over there. Realistically, play off the ball next to Trey. We don't really need you to do shit, but guard the people that Trey Young can't guard. The Pelicans brought Dyson in to be Lonzo. Yes. Like they thought he was gonna be Lonzo from what I remember with the passing and the fucking spinning and the scoring and shit that he was doing in the G League.
This is what I was told. This is what I was told about the Dyson shit when they brought Dyson in. It don't matter because everybody fired now anyway. So what they gonna do? Fire you again? I was told that they drafted Dyson because they looked at Herb and said, man, if we would have got Herb at 19, we could have turned him into a star. They're like, Dyson is pretty much Herb at 19. We're going to turn him into a star. They're like, bitches, you're crazy. They didn't turn this man into anything. He's an incredible perimeter defender, one of the best in the league, in my opinion. But to me, Dyson is a small ball forward. I don't see Dyson as like a point guard or on ball creator whatsoever. And that was proven.
Yeah, no, it's just when you start really going back and running down the whole, like, people, I understand, like, the stars gotta be stars, right? Like, I understand that Brandon gotta be better, Z gotta be better,
Zion gotta stay on the court. Yes.
Yeah, like, all of that's true. At the same time, these motherfuckers didn't run no tight ship. They didn't run no good organization. They made bad move after bad move. They didn't put people in position to succeed. Why you think and I don't, man, fuck Josh Hart, respectfully. But why I'm just saying, but why you think Josh, and I say that because Josh Hart be trying to shit on the city, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, it's more about that, not the team. But why you think Josh Hart, dog, you don't need to be listening to Josh Hart when he talking about coaching, like hiring or firing a coach.
Nah, not him.
Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's just this front office got way more failures, more than just the missed draft picks and stuff like that, that they need to be held accountable for, that, in my opinion, than what we talking about.
Bro, when you have, I'm not going to say which paper, and I'm not going to say during which timeline this occurred. Well, what up with you, D-boy? What up with your fresh coach? Shout out to everybody in the building, E-Dog. What's happening with y'all, man? When you had a coach, when you have a president of basketball operations or whatever the fuck Griffin's position was, and he had final say on some of our newspaper journalists' like edits and went out to the public and some of these local newspapers and coverage and what have you, when this motherfucker actually was acting as an editor, that goes to show you how bad that situation was. That's why motherfucker can't never tell me that they're not playing politics or something like that. It's like, no, I've been around long enough now and kind of know how shit was going. But transitioning, because we are in a new phase, a new era. It's a lot of exciting things happening around the Pelicans, a lot of ideas. You had a few ideas, as it appears that the Cleveland Cavaliers are about to be eliminated in embarrassing fashion once again. You had a couple ideas to potentially pillage. I mean, I say pillage, the potential. I don't want to make it sound like that. You had a few ideas, relieve them of a player or so. And what's a couple of guys you may have been interested in for the Cleveland Cavaliers team, or maybe Orlando?
So we could start with Cleveland, since I ain't gonna lie, we might have to pivot on Cleveland, because I don't think, if you Cleveland, first off, you can't re-sign James Harden.
Hell no, you can't. I don't give a fuck what you promised James Harden.
Yes,
up to his end of the bargain. You gotta turn into Daryl Morey. He is a liar. Yeah.
I gotta be the liar when it's coming.
I gotta be a liar. I got to be a liar.
I cannot re-sign James Harden in no 30, 40 million, whatever it is. So that. Secondly, if you don't do that, there's no way Mitchell taking another deal, dog.
No, I said this season before last. When Mitchell signed that extension and he signed for a year shorter, and he got a player option, to me, that contract was designed for him to like opt out if shit go bad.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
Absolutely. So with that being said, and I know I didn't pitch this to you, but like watching them get the brakes beat off them right now, would you consider making an offer for Mitch? Or you wouldn't even consider it?
I would consider it if he was open to doing it. See, to me, I also think Donovan Mitchell was dealing with some type of injury. Not that that's an excuse, but he looked incredibly unexplosive this postseason. And I've just been watching Donovan Mitchell dunk on motherfuckers for years. And to their credit, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's no small feat, because the East was a monster this year.
And the Knicks look amazing right now.
The Knicks look amazing right now, right? To me, matchups are everything. I think the Cavs are too small, too slow, too skinny. You pick up the phone, you make an offer, because that's right about your timeline. 2 years, 2-3 years. You make an offer. And look, here's the thing. With this one, you kind of send your best and brightest, because by the time this is over, you say, did you miss the segment about Zion and a new coach? You missed it, D-boy. You could play it back. Oh, we gonna speak on that a little bit more as well. We're gonna speak on that a little bit more as well, because now we get into trade talk. But that was a little bit earlier, but we're gonna touch back on it. Pause. So I'm calling. I'm calling.
It ain't nothing significant though. He had 50 mil this year. If it's Poole and Murray and a pick or two, would you do it? But he got
I think they could get more. I don't think they can get much more, but I think they can get more.
I don't think he resigns it, and he got a player option for 53 next year.
And that's what
this
fucks
a 1 year deal. Yeah,
that's what fucks him, because that player option, he gets to set his own table. Also, I don't necessarily know if he wants to uproot, because now you're chasing. And what does this say about you? Because I think ultimately at this point, it kind of says you can't be the number one option on the championship team.
Okay.
Because also, like, even with Jalen Brunson, that team is insulated quite a bit with big defenders. Everyone can shoot. Karl Anthony Towns, one of the best big men.
Phenomenal, dog.
Phenomenal. He's a phenomenal player. No, that's a hell of a starting five. They spent a lot of money on that team, right?
Yes.
But again, you're arguably your best or second best player on the Cavs is 37 years old, and James Harden. Like, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, I don't think they would have done much worse with Darius Garland. Mobley is unreliable at this stage. Everyone they traded for, Keon Ellis, Schroeder, been unreliable. They gave that extension to Okoro, that didn't work out. Jared Allen's always injured, kind of unreliable. Like, it's just the supporting cast. To me, the best player that Donovan Mitchell ever teamed up with was probably Rudy Gobert.
That's
Rudy Gobert.
Well, this is the furthest he's ever made it. So say what
I just mean individual
that's
player.
An accomplishment. Yes.
Hell yeah, it's an accomplishment.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say because Harden old.
Yeah, I only say that because Harden old. Now, if Harden was 32, this might be this ain't no They might still get eliminated.
Harden.
They might still get eliminated, but Harden was so bad this entire postseason, and that's why I think Kenny Atkinson deserved more disrespect. Like, the disrespect people give Mosley, people need to be disrespecting Kenny Atkinson the same way, bro. Because Kenny Atkinson went to 2 Game 7s with inferior teams, ultimately won, but got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals. That means you were just no competition. You were a tier below the Knicks.
They blew that initial game, that 22-point lead in the fourth. And then the Knicks just was like, y'all will never come close again. And that's exactly how it looked.
I was about to set you up with a question, but I ain't even going to ask because we both know the answer.
Yeah, I'm throwing motherfuckers.
Why nobody? I'm about to say, why you notice that? No, fuck it. I'm gonna mention it, though. Fuck that. This is where the dick eating get out of control. And this is why motherfuckers be looking at people kind of funny on the cool, because Kenny Atkinson blew that lead and went into overtime in the first game, right?
Yes.
Jamahl Mosley lost what? He blew that lead in game 5. Was it 6?
I think it was game 6 at home. They had the 20-point lead, was getting ready to close, and they blew that one.
People will forget and act like that. And look, Kenny Atkinson also blew leads against Indiana as well.
Absolutely.
So people will act like that never fucking happened, but will focus on Jamahl Mosley, the 8 seed, losing to the number 1 seed versus Kenny Atkinson losing to the Pacers and now losing to the Knicks. Like, come on, man. In devastating fashion. You didn't even do better than Atlanta. So, like, these people, when people talk about levels and tiers of coaching, it's like, don't act like Kenny Atkinson is on this tier, Mosley on this tier. They gotta be on the same tier some fucking how, because they make similar mistakes. One just has better offensive players, the other team has better defensive players, but they make similar mistakes, in my opinion.
Yes.
But
if
I'm sorry to go on that tangent.
No, you good. If the roster and that I made this point again, if roster construction was equal, right? Would great coaches look like great coaches? Or would they just be regular people? Again, we see Spoelstra go multiple years without making playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, there's times where he can maybe be an advantage for you
sometimes
in a series or something like that. And they talk about Spoelstra as one of the best in the league. We saw Joe Mazzulla, who people tout as one of the greatest. Come on, dog. You already know they're trying to get him over there.
Go ahead. Look, shout out Louisiana gal for all your listeners. She said CAA is already politicking to get Borrego to Cleveland. I don't even understand. Look, I've dealt with this as a rapper. All right, motherfucker, make music. You be like, how the fuck you keep getting single releases, and how the fuck you keep getting these magazine covers and these interviews on the Breakfast Club, and I gotta go curse the label out to get them to do something for me, and you just got the best agent in the world. Borrego is look, more power to him. I hope it works out for him. It'll suck to lose him here in New Orleans, but
suck to lose who?
Borrego, man, it's gonna be a difficult loss, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely,
ain't gonna lie. Yeah, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. What our next move gonna be? But on an optimistic note, I apologize. On an optimistic note, right? Let's talk about some of these trades. Now, you mentioned. Now for Spider, I'm saying you make the phone call. The only thing I'm not offering in the deal for Spider, if Spider was 28, I would everything is
on the table.
Yeah, but since he's 30 and he got the option, it got to be like
DeJounte and Poole,
and like some picks.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
And I don't think.
Let me ask you this: if he, do you think? Wherever he goes, because I don't think he goes. Wherever he goes, you think he get the Supermax? Because you know he up for it.
No, not at his age and his height. And if he's not injured, because I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I know some people watch him more than me say he is injured. I've never seen him look this non-explosive, to be honest. Over 30, undersized guard, shooting is kind of falling off quite a bit. New CBA, and wherever he goes, I'm gonna have to supplement him with a nice roster to where some nights he don't got to be the guy at all. I can't afford to give you Supermax, brother.
Hypothetically, I'm figuring the answer is probably gonna be no based on that, because we know he likely wouldn't stay here. Would you be willing to consider close to the Supermax if the deal was, let's say, Poole, DeJounte, and picks? Would you be considering giving him like breaking the bank to keep him here? Like a 5, like you know,
was he 30 now? So it would have to be like what a crazy 4-year deal. Maybe
I think that's the only way he stays in a place like this. It's like
I consider it
crazy.
Because look, at the end of the day, it is New Orleans.
Especially like, if it don't cost you, like if it don't cost you Z trade fears, that stuff.
And here's the thing, right? When we talk about Supermaxes and as it pertains to Donovan Mitchell, and shout out to everybody in the building. We got almost 100 people in the building. Do me a favor, hit the like button, please. Much love to all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all joining us. Happy Memorial Day. You talk about guys like Duran and Spider and some of these other guys. It's like the Supermax. Well, what up with your B Thomas? The Supermax is earned through the regular season, to be fair.
Yes.
Like all NBA selections and things of that nature. And one can say that he's earned that money. He got him to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll pay him.
He's in Conference Finals.
Yes.
They were even when he was in the West, right? Like the West,
the Jazz was
consistent
great,
playoffs.
That was a great team.
Consistent playoffs in the East, consistent playoffs, winning a series or two. Like, I'm not saying I give him the Supermax, but I'm just saying if one of the things, if I could.
Giannis has one more ring than Donovan Mitchell.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we could go ahead.
So it's just kind of like, I know here you probably wouldn't want to think about it, but like if I was able to keep everything I thought about, like all of my stuff, not clearly put you on the right now timetable.
Yes.
But that'd be a great piece to restart with. I'm just saying. I don't think we do it, but that's just my
opinion. What's funny? Because I also think, and you did a great show about this. And look, I was going to do a show about this too. I just left it alone. I think you did an excellent job. I don't think the Pelicans are on 2 timelines, bro. Because to me, I don't see at this stage Spears and Queen as being those home run can't miss league face of the league caliber prospects just
it's not
yet.
Cooper. It's not Cooper Flag.
It's not a Cooper Flag thing, and some people would argue Cooper's not even there, right? Like to me, it's not like they're not.
That's a great point.
They're not quote unquote Zion or quote unquote Ant or quote unquote none of these, or even the hype that was surrounding Porzingis at one time, Anthony Davis, etc. They just look like really good players. Yeah, they're gonna be good players. Them dudes gonna be all-stars someday. So when people talk about two timelines, it's not like you got this motherfucker waiting in the wings that's about to be Batman and just take the team to another level. That's just not the reality of the situation. You're in the now.
Yeah,
right. It is only the now.
Yeah.
Until because and look, that's why when I say a bright future, I'm talking about with this iteration of the team still under Mosley's watchful eye. You're in the now because for a small market team, it takes trading for or signing or drafting an incredible prospect. And I think I do think Fears has that capability to be potential upside. Queen has some upside as well. You don't know it until you see it. Even with OKC, they tanked for years after getting Shea. And that was like via trade. They tanked for years.
Yes. No, it's Shea. The people just think about what OKC is today. Like the last 2 seasons, right?
Right.
Not thinking, dog.
Shea not been eliminated and not,
Yes, not like Shea been in OKC now for what? 6 years, something like that. Like that. The last 2 seasons been phenomenal, and you know what that took? Fucking hitting on J-Dub and Chet. Like, luckily getting J-Dub and Chet. And
the crazy thing is, like, even with Chet, it's like, Chet don't look like a stud number 2 guy. He all NBA somehow. I don't know. Shout out to him. Congratulations.
Ooh.
But it's like
episode on that.
A lot of and you think about how many guys they failed with drafting. Like Tobish he had issues, but Osman Jang, a lot of Usman Jang. I mean, like a lot of guys never really panned out to that level.
Yes.
But I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm sorry. The car say, "Well, what's good, fellas? At the hospital, my grandma. Hope to be back home soon, man. Thoughts and prayers to you and your grandmother, brother. Hope everything work out well with your family, brother. Thoughts and prayers to the family, brother. Appreciate you,
Blessings to you.
But yeah, bro, there's no one right way to do it. But you had some interest in Jared Allen, right? And what a potential deal look like to you for Jared Allen? And this is an event they keep Spider, right?
Yes, this is an event they keep Spider, and again, we know they gotta. I think there's no way you could re-sign James Harden, so they're gonna need another guard, another bigger guard to handle the ball, can defend, move. Is a lot younger. He might not be to the level of James Harden, but how do you feel about DeJounte Murray for Allen and Strus?
Well, Strus is gonna be a free agent.
Okay.
I'm not
That's
sure.
Cool too.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, she was gonna be a free agent. Maybe you have some play at signing him, but
Jared Allen make 28. I mean, honestly, at that point, you could just get some salary filler. Like you could give me Tyrese Proctor for.
Like to me, if it was like, let's just say if it's 1-for-1. Well, they're second apron team, so they probably can't take back more than they're sending out. Right, so let's say if it's Jalen, Aaron, and Tyson, right? Let's get both of the Tysons in New Orleans, right? For DeJounte, I do that because I'm not worried about. Well, Jared Allen got 3 years left on his contract. Starting caliber big, has some injuries. He's only 28, but he's starting. Physically, he's in trouble. But I view a lot of the centers in the league right now as co-starters anyway, like. I don't think you're gonna see too many guys playing 40 minutes like that consistently anymore, or 35 minutes like that consistently. But his money, in my opinion, prohibits you from doing quite a bit.
You talking about Jared Allen?
Yeah, because
28, 30, and then 42.
32. Because
to
DeJounte, but I think DeJounte only got 1 year after this year.
Yeah, he do have 2 years left.
Yeah, 2 miserable fucking years too, boy.
Listen, though, I think you gotta move DeJounte. I personally think you almost have to move DeJounte this year because if you go into, it's the same thing with most of your stars, bro.
Mhm.
If you go into the final season of a deal, you pretty much lose all leverage, in my opinion. And like, it's not necessarily to say anything negative about DeJounte, but I know DeJounte want to be in a position somewhere that's going to look like, I don't think you can even give DeJounte an extension with Fears waiting in the wings to be the guy, right? So you already know your future, it's got to be somewhere else. It's got to be somewhere else, and you won't compete. So
I think like with the Pelicans, I think if the play-in is the goal, then you can run back this roster in hopes that you can maximize the talent on the roster, right? With DeJounte at the helm, because you got limited avenues like to really acquiring more talent. You can't just sign a bunch of free agents. So you got to trade DeJounte at some point, I would imagine. But I think you got to think bigger. Like for the Pelicans, I mean, like if you can't think like, well, if I give DeJounte a whole season, he'll be good. I'm like, no, honestly, I would probably, if I could package DeJounte with a first and get Ja, you do it. Like, because I think DeJounte is that much of a distressed asset, and because he got that player option, and I think also the fact that he not really that good when he plays, and he wants to start, you gotta get him out the building, like, because all that shit, like people like, well, he wants to be here, that's the right personality. All that shit is fake, right? And I don't mean fake like that in his personality. Like it probably is, but it's like, does it help you win? Like, does it help anybody? Has it helped anybody win? He's barely played the last 2 seasons. When he has played, it's been a mixed to bad, sample. Like it hasn't been good.
He's still working his way back from the injury.
Yeah, he's still working his way back from fucking 2 seasons ago. It's like it gets to the point where it's like the juice ain't worth the squeeze in this situation. I totally agree. You gotta move him, even if you're not moving him for like superstar level talent. You gotta move him for like a more useful skill set, like shooting, like incredible rebounding, and things of that nature.
Which is why every deal I'm thinking about not moving him for another point guard necessarily. I'm trying to move DeJounte to a place that looks like they trying to compete and need his services right now.
Yeah, like I think Houston would make a lot of sense as well.
Houston would make a lot of sense. I don't know what we taking back from Houston, but it would make a lot of sense for them.
Boy, if I could, and look, I don't think they would do this. If I can get Jabari, and I don't give a fuck what else really, but let's just say Jabari and Reed Shepard hypothetically.
Boy, listen, you give me Jabari and Reed, we lit. I'm starting Jabari at the 4, and I'm putting Reed on the bench.
Like, and I know some people might be like, that's too much to give away. But if Kevin Durant really hate Jabari guts and Reed Shepard just ain't looking like he, ain't panning out thus far, I'm taking a chance on them. And look, I probably would even throw in a swap. And look, Paperboy, shout out to Paperboy L. This was your idea as well. He say Jalen Green for DeJounte would work, but now it's like, yeah, but like you said, you don't necessarily need a point guard in return.
No, I'm thinking
that's a high upside play.
High up, like Naz Reed fits because again, Ant needs another person.
Naz Reed and DeJounte. I'm sorry, Naz Reed and Dante DiVincenzo for DeJounte.
Yeah, something like that. I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like get you a floor spacing big that can shoot the ball. My other thought was Wendell Carter and Anthony Black. Like go get some players.
Oh yeah, you did mention that
from Orlando. That's familiar with Jamahl Mosley. Anthony Black started showing some progress. You miss Sam guys so that much. Let's roll.
Like you mentioned Scoot before, like feeling like Fears and Scoot was too much on the same timeline. Do you feel like Anthony Black and Fears is too much on the same timeline?
Yes. But the only difference is I think Anthony Black, by him being more of a like 6'7", he's taller, he's more of a he's a defender. You know what I mean? I think you could play him next to Fears and it'll look different because Scoot is like, you know what I mean? He's just a smaller guard to a degree.
And it takes some of the pressure off of Fears in theory. with some of the decision making he would have to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because those to me, because I saw Fierce as like an undersized 2 guard to some degree.
What? Go tell Mama.
I saw Fierce more as like an undersized 2 guard to some degree. So I think his game could play alongside point guard. Shout out to Slim South in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Take a moment, hit the like button. Peace to y'all, man. Slim South was in a chance. Mosley landing in New Orleans, rooting for a winning season. Yes, indeed, man. Welcome aboard the Coach Mosley. Wendell Carter Jr. You know, I looked at some of his numbers. How you feel about Wendell?
So listen,
he always hurt.
I'm not gonna lie. As I've been watching the Orlando games,
right?
Like I'm watching. You gotta watch the games. Let me ask you this.
Yep.
Did you watch a lot of the Orlando Detroit playoff series?
Not a ton of it.
I think
I was more locked into that Boston series, but go ahead.
Okay. I think Wendell Carter performed relatively well in that series, right? Even against Durham, man. Even with Durham.
Oh yeah, I thought he dominated Durham, to be honest.
Right? So I
have heard Durham was hurt, but I heard he dominated.
So I was like, is this a blip or like, because again, Wendell Carter was a top, I think Wendell Carter was a lottery pick when he came out of Duke.
Went to Chicago, right?
Yes. And then, didn't work out initially, we got moved again. So when I'm watching the Orlando film, what am I expecting? Am I expecting Wendell Carter to be some all-star level big? No. But do we need an all-star level big? Absolutely not. We need a quality starting level big. And I look at it this way. Wendell Carter would be just as good of a signing as if we were to sign like a Mitchell Robinson. You get what I'm saying? Yes. Like when I'm
they both got them injury issues, yeah.
Right. So take that. If you account for that, again, this is via trade, because if I got Anthony Black and Wendell Carter,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got two players that I don't want to say it fills 2 needs, but I think you do need another guard as well.
Yeah, you absolutely need a fringe starter / backup point guard, depending on what you're doing this year, starting at point.
Exactly. So I think Wendell Carter can be a serviceable starting center for you moving forward. Like, am I expecting him to make an all-star team? Absolutely not. Do I think he's going to defend? Just be available and do what quality centers do? I think so. After watching them play, like, because I've watched the games I watched them against Boston, right? One of the best teams in the league.
Yep.
Houston, one of the best teams in the league. That means you defending Sengun. I watched them against the Clippers when they had before they traded Zoo, right? And a couple other games I watched. In every game that I watched Wendell Carter play, it was just he wasn't the weakness. You get what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't the reason that they either were losing or something was wrong. He was just quality player. Though we saw to DeAndre Jordan. We saw DeAndre Jordan come in, start games, and when they went on their little run, just look solid.
Yeah, somebody just said, shout out to Daniel Blunt. He said, DeAndre Jordan's getting time at the end of the year. How can we not find a big? A sneaky free agent signing I can see the Pelicans doing. I hope they don't do it, but Steven Adams. But
I can see that too.
I hope not, but I can see Steven Adams.
I'd rather a Wendell Carter than a Steven Adams.
My thing with Wendell Carter Jr. is like looking at his numbers and games played. This year seemed like a little bit of an outlier as far as games played. Now, one can say that Zion played more games before, but one can say like maybe he figured it out. Who knows, right? Played 78 games this season, the most he's played in his entire career. Started all 78 as well.
Not in a contract year.
Not in a contract year. Got a couple years left on this deal, if I'm not mistaken. Averaged 11-7. Pretty much on par with his career blocks. Not necessarily a game changer, but just a cool, solid big. I think I would view him kind of like as a co-starter. Like, you're gonna have to have a solid rotational guy. Now, here's the thing too, right? Because I just thought about this. Do you think because Wendell Carter Jr. has been unreliable historically. Do you think that forced Orlando to bring in Goga Bitadze and extend Isaac? And do you think that caused some of the roster construction to be a little clunky? Because they're like, well, damn, the guy we brought over, we can't really depend on him. Because they extended all them dudes in the same offseason.
I think so. Watching the Goga Bitadze tape, I hope before I was open to it, I am not open to it.
Yeah, he looked bad at the end of the year. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know bad in the what beginning happened, of the year. I was watching tape fucking games in November. I was like, this is an absolute no. Please don't do it.
It got to the point where I thought and look, I'm a person who's a fan of Goga before they hired Mosley, because I was like, well, maybe him and Mosley just don't get along or something. Yeah. So I gotta see. I gotta see. Now, Louisiana Girl made a good point. She said some of Wendell's games played numbers are skewed because Orlando started tanking and set him down his first 2-3 years. That's a good point as well, because Mosley, he got the team when they first tanked, and then he improved the wins by like 10 or 12, if I'm not mistaken, the second year.
They had 21, and then they went to like 30 something.
Yeah, so he inherited a tanking team, and Carter, I'm sure they set him down just off GP. But that's an interesting prospect. You also had another interesting. No, it wasn't Suggs. I'm tripping because I do think Suggs is going to be on the trade block after his last season. That's a contract I'm afraid of, but his defense and impact on the game is quality. I'm just afraid of that contract, honestly.
Talking about Jalen Suggs for them?
Yeah,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I couldn't do it. Like I
can't do it.
Well, you know what?
It ain't even really about him.
I would think about it, right? Like it ain't an automatic no for me, because like defensively he's just a fucking animal. But like this year, he just had a rough year, like across the board. Because you thinking like the trajectory is going upward, like especially once I pay you. And this year,
he on a declining deal too, which is nice.
Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. Depending on the cost of the trade, because I think that's something people thought he's gonna love Herb. I'm like, based on what? Like, that's something people say, and I'm like, well, people are gonna love the Johnson and Herb. I'm like, bro, what are you basing that on? Because
I don't know if that's I don't know if
totally different type of players, bro.
I don't know if Jonathan Isaac got hurt. I don't know if Jonathan Isaac got hurt, but Jonathan Isaac got benched. Was playing in the beginning of the season. I don't recall that. Ain't no way Franz an unrestricted free agent. Franz just signed. Franz got like 5 years left, bro. Yeah, Franz deal came in because
I think he's talking about Mo Wagner.
Oh, okay, yeah, Mo available. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that might be somebody he got some familiarity with, but to me, a guy like that don't really move the needle. Like,
no, he ain't doing nothing for you, dog.
Robert Williams and Mitchell Robinson, I think.
I take Mitchell Robinson or Robert Williams, and again, I know you have the same concerns about Robert Williams as you have about Wendell Carter.
Yeah, and Mitchell Robinson.
Robinson, yeah.
Like to me, that's the reason why none of these dudes got no extensions.
But again, when you the PELS, those the kind of people that fit in your you know what I mean?
You gotta get lucky. Like the Kings got lucky with Precious Achiuwa. The Pelicans didn't really get lucky with DeAndre, the player, but got lucky with DeAndre, like the assistant coach. Didn't get lucky with Kevon Looney, really. Yeah, you got to get lucky with some guys who may be over the hill or have some injury concerns, and it just works out with you. Like a lot of times, like like you mentioned Jalen Suggs' contract. I think the next coach is going to want a Jalen Suggs, but it is a declining contract. It's
you think Mosley's going to want a Jalen Suggs?
Well, I meant the next coach in Orlando. I think Mosley, if Mosley had his choice of Suggs, DeJounte, and Herb, he would want Suggs. And I don't even think just for familiarity reasons, I think Suggs is a more high impact player than either one of those guys. Like at this stage, like Jalen Suggs, and
now he's 25, bro.
Yeah, and not that he's even available, but shot 33% from 3 this year on 6 attempts. Not great, but not awful. Got as high as 39% on 5 attempts a couple years ago. That's what ultimately got him that money. only 2 free throws, averaging if you round up to 4, but 3.9 rebounds a game. 5 assists is incredible. Averaging 5 assists, that's really incredible. I guess they had him running a lot of point. Nearly 2 steals a game. Like also averaging 2 turnovers. That contract is bad though. Like to me, I just to me he's a winning player, but it's like damn, that's an ugly ass contract.
30-something mil for what he does, and like
51 likes. Appreciate you, T5. Let's get the likes up. Let's get it to 75, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get the likes up to 75. You're in here, you might as well hit the like button.
Yeah, I can't do it for Suggs. I ain't gonna lie. Even if DeJounte was the move, because I feel like DeJounte's deal is hard to move. So I guess if I absolutely had to, being that the deal is declining, and I feel like maybe I could repackage it for something later. I'd rather swing for like I'd rather package something, go get Levine, and then Levine expire than taking like 5 years worth of
that's a lot of money, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I had to do anything, I'd rather go that like get an expiring deal and then and like lose out on that and maybe get some cap space.
Here's the shitty part though, even with trading for like Anthony Black, he about to be a restricted free agent. So now you got to make a decision on his contract extension. Orlando got some tough.
But what numbers you think Anthony Black coming in at? Like, let's just be honest. Like Anthony Black had 20. Like one. I could take Anthony Black for 20 mil for the next. You know what I mean? Like the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 seasons.
I would.
It'll replace Herb.
It'll replace Herb, but and they off the street can replace Herb for a minimum.
I'm just saying, like from a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for money, yeah. Somebody said Nick Richards, Jacques Landale. I like the idea of Nick Richards. I liked it more a couple years ago. But to me, those are other guys who just rotational guys. Like I wouldn't even pencil them in the starters, but they are rotational guys. The only thing I worry about with Anthony Black is you would have to play. This is antiquated, but you would have to be the 2. And then if I pay you that money and you're my 2, you or Fears got to start maybe. Like one of y'all got to start. Unless y'all about to just run the backcourt. Like,
I had that question too, because like depending on how your lineup, now you know what it made me laugh about? Because it ultimately comes, bro. You and fucking Ivory are hilarious because it still goes back to Queen on the bench because he can't play the 5 because like your starting lineups would look like Anthony Black, Jeremiah Fears, Z Trey, unless you start Queen at the 5, and then you small.
I ain't gonna lie, boy. That sounds like a terrible team.
You give them
that team sounds terrible. Because. There's another thing taken to the equation when we talk about roster construction. I think until proven differently, you got to count Sadiq Bey as a 3rd starter. So that means 2 spots are for grabs in that starting lineup, and I don't think Herb got one of them. So
I don't either.
So point guard and quote unquote center.
You think point guard up for grabs?
I mean, if you keep DeJounte gonna start.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't think they necessarily want to keep DeJounte. But let's say if you do keep him, he's probably starting. So now center becomes up for grabs. And I would probably pencil in today as Emisi as my starting center, right? So it's like, but again, if we're talking about improving, are we just talking about improving via the coaching staff and internal growth? Now y'all healthy, you got more time on task, because you still got the same issues. Like you still, like even if you sign a center that shoots, it's like shooting is still going to be an issue. Let's say Bryce McGowan comes back. Pierce is your backup point guard, quote unquote. Bryce is your backup 2. Let's say Herb's your backup 2 or 3, what have you. Queen your backup 4. Some guys the backup 5. That doesn't necessarily seem like you added much talent. Yeah, I'm a fan of Derek Lively too, Daniel. But I would like for the Pelicans to take a chance on him because Dallas got to decide if they're gonna pay him or not. Dallas got a lot of decisions to make as well.
Yeah,
a lot of decisions to make.
And I don't trust Masai anyway. I think Masai is terrible, to be honest. So
I don't think Masai's very good. I think he did his job, got him the ring, but fuck, David Griffin got him a ring. So
yeah, true. You bring in Kawhi.
Yeah, like Kawhi, yeah.
I don't know what happens with DeJounte, though. I think DeJounte. Do you think moving on from DeJounte is bigger than finding a center?
Not necessarily, because when I think about my need at center, I just need somebody who's a monster on the glass and not a total liability at the rim or pick and roll, right? Like, I'm not like, if Sabonis was my center, I wouldn't really trip too much defensively because my goal is to be middle of the pack defensively. If I can be like 16, 17 defensively, and I have elite offense, cool, because I'm viewing this as steps to my ultimate goal, which is like, I'm going to eventually find my center, but I got to get by in the meantime. Like, you think about the teams, they got elite centers or super big centers in the West right now, right? Let's say the Kings, you play 4 times a year. That's 4 games. Spurs, 8 games. Portland, 12 games. Memphis, if Edie's healthy, would be 16 games. If Kessler goes back to the Jazz, that's 20 games right there. I'm probably missing a team or two. I'm not worried about fucking Jackson Hayes and the Lakers. That's 20 games right there. There's 62 more games in the season, to where off the top of my head, I'm not really thinking about, like, just off the top of my head, I can't. I'm not worried about Daniel Gafford and like I'm in the West. Like, I'm not like me just looking at Tankathon real quick and just seeing who the teams are. I already mentioned.
That's
Kessler.
why I think you could get by with, like, honestly, I think you in the line.
Golden State don't even got a fucking center. Am I worried about Quentin Post? Zubac is in Indiana now, so the Clippers don't have a center.
If we signed like Kristaps, I understand the injuries, but if you sign Kristaps Porzingis and he like shared the duties with Missy, I think you could get by most of the season. Like, you got to deal with that motherfucker and his injuries, obviously, because he never plays. But in theory, you could get by like during the season with that as your center rotation.
In theory, if he was healthy, he would be arguably the best center he ever had. It'd be ideal if he was healthy, right? But since he most likely won't be, whatever his illness is, since he most likely won't be, I think you could get by with Sabonis, honestly, bro. Because remember, the Kings was number 1 seed in the were they number 1? What seed were they that year? Top three seed that year without Sabonis. I'm sorry, without a real deal center. Because the goal for you, the Pelicans, you're just trying to take the next step.
Yes, this is a development. Like, you got Mosley for 5 years. This is about development. It's not about like.
Well, yeah, like this is about like, yo, I'm a real perennial playoff team now, and shit go right. I get the right matchup, what have you. I can make a run in the West.
You can win around a motherfucker sprain an ankle.
Yeah, like like shit. The Raptors, like, they had addition by subtraction with Quickly and Brandon being out. These motherfuckers pushed Cleveland to 7. Now, regardless of what we think about Cleveland, it's like that's no small feat because they don't even really got a center. So you get like a column, like real deal physical athletes at the 4 or 5. You can control the boards. You're not total ass on the perimeter.
Well, listen, man,
things you can do.
Another possibility that I would realistically consider DeJounte for Rudy.
Oh yeah, I would do that.
DeJounte for Rudy. Like, they talk about they got the backup big, the rookie that they drafted.
Yeah, to me that's one of my favorite deals,
bro. Listen, it don't stop them from still going pursue a star if need be, because they still have other salary that they could use to go if they did want to, swing for Kawhi or something like that. They still have other shit that they can go do to try and do that. But DeJounte for Rudy, dog, Rudy Gobert today solidifies your big for like
Rudy. Look, no, if Cleveland had Rudy Gobert, like that game probably series probably goes to at least like 6 or something like that. Like I think Rudy is that impactful. The car, we spoke about Rich Paul and Kyra Lewis earlier. The car we talked about, bro. And that misfortunate event. I would absolutely do that. To me, one of the interesting things is going to be Jordan Poole. What happens with Jordan Poole and the Pooligans and his fan base, who I'm real cool with.
I think they bring Poole back this season to start the season, unless like an ideal deal comes available, and I think they try to. I think they more so they'll give Poole benefit of the doubt because Troy Weaver, that was his guy that he brought over, and I think it was a shit show from the beginning that they gonna kind of give him a mulligan on the season, right? And try and build that stock back up in Jordan Poole. It's kind of like, all right, look, you want a contract year, my boy. So you need to be trying to go get you some money. You can't afford to be injured. You need to play some of your best ball. And if that's the case, to start the season off, even if he is an expiring that you end up moving, you could benefit from the desperation of an NBA player trying to get paid.
Yeah, that too. Contract your guys. Also, I mean, I think Poole's contract at this point has become a positive because it's so big of an expiring. And like you said, contract your guy. I just think it's going to be interesting. To me, you can't go into the season without moving 2 of Poole, DeJounte, and Herb.
I think Herb gone, dog.
And the crazy thing to me is, let's say he is, right, hypothetically speaking. It's like, I might just be low on Herb's value because I'm really trying to think, like, what team could use Herb? It'd have to be a team like Charlotte, honestly, that just got no defense but incredible offense.
Yes.
Denver. And I'm like, okay,
we keep tracking back to Denver.
And now, or Denver, right? Which would check a couple boxes for the Pelicans as far as a pick and Cam Johnson. Because if you got Cam Johnson, you answered your shooting. Bang.
Yes, you answered your starting, and he defends.
And he's expiring. So now you really, you know what I'm saying? That might be one of my favorites.
With a late first, like that's a complete win.
So now it's like, all right, who's the best center available, or whatever, even if whatever best player available at that point, right? But now I'm still in the position where I'm like, all right, I got to move one more, you motherfuckers, because now I'm like, well, I trust Fears at point guard. I could just go sign me a backup point guard. Like if you're thinking like that. And it's like with Poole is like, if I get Cam Johnson, it make Poole a little more expendable, but I still need as much scoring as possible. But it's like, who will net me a center? It becomes the thing. Because remember, if you trade Herb, let's just hypothetically say it's Herb and Hawkins, right? I mean, I got to see exactly what Cam's contract is to see how much money,
21 or 24 or something like that.
Like money you really save. Because because you're probably trying to save Denver, a couple bucks, and Denver could realistically decide to just waive Giannis and try to run it back in some fashion. All right, so he's making 23. So so Herb and Hawkins for Cam works. It doesn't necessarily save them much money.
They can't run it. I just thought about it. They still can't run it back because unless they let Peyton Watson walk.
Yeah, they tax bill is enormous. Like it's crazy. I think the Pelicans have to be in a situation in this deal to where they're sending out less money than they're taking back for it to really benefit Denver. Like I think trying to do Herb and Hawkins would be a little ambitious. I think it would almost have to be you taking back Cam by himself in some form. And like you getting just close enough to where there's a legal trade, and it's like Cam for Herb in a first. Like I think if you try to add Hawkins to that, I think it kind of
I think it's Cam. I think it's a 1-for-1 to be on. Well, a 1-for-1 on the player, but you got to get the pick because it saves them. It saves them the money. But Herb is also signs for them. You ain't got to worry about losing the player that you signed or not being able to retain them.
And you're still making less than Cam.
Exactly. And he's still making less than Cam. You know what I mean? And again, y'all needed defense. Like y'all have the offense. Y'all needed defenders out there. So what would be better than getting, who some say is one of the best wing defenders in the league?
The thing, and if somebody in here can let me know, and I'm gonna have to talk to some people, honestly, bro. Like, I was told that the Pelicans had some people in Chicago for quite some time now, and I was also told a few names that they liked, like they like this player, but I haven't seen anywhere that the Pelicans have come out and really said we want to get back into the first round. It's all speculation. Right. So it's like there exists a world where they're not tripping on really getting back into the lottery. Like that world exists. Like, so
I think it's gonna have to be like I don't think they're going to actively pursue getting into the lottery unless they can find a way to get into a position for somebody that they love. Right. Like, let's say it's draft night and some shit starting to shake out and like, I don't know, let's say hypothetically they like A-Cuff and he there somewhere around, I don't believe this, but let's say he there somewhere around 9.
Ooh,
you might
now you gotta look.
You get what I'm saying? So like what the fuck that happened in the draft? But draft night get crazy sometimes. Like
it get weird,
we think the top 4 is gonna be what it is, but you start seeing people like what happens at 5. Like I don't think they do anything to get to go up to 5 or nothing like that. But if you see the board shake out a certain kind of way and it's a player that you love, like he got that Bucks pick.
I might have at least call. Like
I might have to.
And then so much shit is bank like the Giannis shit. That's like, let's say they do like Miles Turner. With I think Miles Turner is an interesting guy. Like far as like funny, he's a funny personality, but I don't think his skill set fits with the player. Though the Pelicans need a player necessarily, but there's a lot of things that could change because normally though when we've seen these trades, it's never just one. It's never just one. Shout out to Louisiana Gal. She says it's not speculation. They've been on the phones for over a week. The other teams are leaking that they spoke with the Pelicans. So and look, Louisiana Girl pretty much just confirmed it. You could really, you could take her word as like gospel to be real.
Yeah.
So it's confirmed. I guess we'll hear some of the names of the teams that have come out. I have a pretty good idea on some of the teams that look. I'm being coy by saying this.
Yeah.
Like, some shit I'm not saying. But
I'll say this regarding like them being on the phone. Like this is what they're supposed to be doing. You supposed to be on the phone. You supposed to be doing your due diligence. You know what I mean? You supposed to, when things getting ready to happen, you're not supposed to be last minute reacting. You supposed to have your ducks in the row.
Be proactive.
Yes, proactive, like they've been.
Again, Troy, come on the show, bro.
Again, Troy, they've been they was talking about Mosley back in November. You know what I'm saying? So like, of course, I shout out to Louisiana Gal, absolutely. But this is what they're supposed to do. So like you got to make these calls again, man, especially if like I don't say you want to do nothing crazy, but fuck if Washington really moving 1 or somebody really talking about moving 2, you know what I mean? You see,
you at least hear what that's hitting for. Like to me, I think their range starts at like 9-11.
Yeah,
and I say that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'll just say the teams that you, like you said, I understand the right, but teams you absolutely have to call.
Oh yeah, you gotta call, see what the price is anyway.
I gotta call Memphis. I don't know what, like obviously Memphis takes but But I gotta talk to Memphis.
They gotta make their pick,
Yeah, but I gotta call Memphis. Like, just what's going on with Ja? What y'all doing with 16? I gotta make that call.
Right.
The Clippers at 5.
GP.
The Clippers at 5. What y'all doing, man? I gotta hear what y'all plan is at 5.
Boy.
Who the Bucks at 10?
You gotta definitely talk to the Bucks at 10.
Yeah.
And so much of this is dependent upon who's on the board. Because if Mara's on the board at 10, let's say Mara shit come out and they find out Mara got some kind of heart murmur or something stupid, like there's something weird, and that's something that's correctable. And it's like, what's up? Like, we gotta like, it's out the Big Major, because I think this is a very interesting question, because this is the name I looked at as well. Big Major 504, appreciate your homie. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hit the like button for me if you did dig. Say no ESPN. Oh, okay. Big Major say, what y'all think about bringing in Isaac? We're gonna have to see Wemby 4 times a year. He guards him better than anyone I've seen so far.
Isaac ain't doing nothing to Wemby, dog. Ain't nobody doing nothing to Wemby. But I don't even know if Isaac been playing. Like, he was getting DMPs.
He ain't really been playing. To me, Isaac would be like an excellent Herb replacement, but I think he on the contract where, like, now you didn't really wet the fucking bed with that contract, boy.
Let me ask you this. I don't know the details of his contract, but he had his deal was heavily incentivized, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't remember what it was, if it was like games played or something like that. But he had some very interesting attachments to his deal.
I'm not totally familiar with the incentives. That sounds somewhat familiar.
Like how Z had to get games played for his deal to be fully guaranteed. I think he had something similar to something like that. I'm gonna have to like look closer into
that's an
it.
Ugly contract.
That 14.
Yeah. Let me see. Here you go right here. They actually have the incentives. So for 2026, $8 million is guaranteed, right? It becomes fully guaranteed that same season, though. So you might as well just say that contract is fully guaranteed. 27 is non-guaranteed unless he plays 52 games in 26.
Okay.
28. So his contract is almost like Zion's contract. That's 28, 29. So in that situation, it's like you could take a chance, but it gets to the point where it's like, are you playable?
Yes, and he was not, like, again, man. I've been watching a lot of Orlando games. He started the season early. He was not, again, you ain't see Jonathan Isaac in the playoffs. And I don't recall him being hurt. I think he was just out of rotation because the offense took such a significant step back.
I wonder if you're Mosley, and Isaac has been there. Damn, Isaac been there 8 fucking years, bro. If you're Mosley and look, Isaac played 52 games this year. So you know they played him just enough so he can get his money.
Get his bread. Yeah.
Shout out to them. This motherfucker played 52 games.
They could have fucked him over.
They could have fucked over him. So shout out to them.
Yes.
Like, just looking at him, he's a total non-factor now.
Yes. He was getting being like, bro, I'm telling you, he was. And you know what? We talk about Mosley bringing coaches. I don't think he want to. I think he want a fresh start. I don't think he want to bring the baggage from Orlando.
I was going to ask you that, and shout out to everybody in the building. We almost 100 people. Hit the like button for me, please. We appreciate everybody in the building. Try to get to 75 likes. I was going to ask you, do you think he cares to bring any of these guys over, especially if the reports are that he lost the locker room? You always got 1 or 2 people that's like, you don't lose, but if the report is that he lost the locker room, it's like, do I even want any of these motherfuckers to come?
Nah, probably not. That's a great point. To be honest, probably not. It's just kind of like, y'all gonna watch me shine with my next team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you go and do, you find you a new girl, you won't look the best you can.
Yeah, you don't say, let me invite her friends to my birthday party. Bitch, I don't want nothing to do with none of y'all no more.
Nah, I'm gonna go get my partners over there that came with me when I took the job.
Right.
They could come. Oh, and I'm taking the development coach. He was with me too.
Right.
He could come. The rest of y'all figure it out.
And like, here's the thing as well, and we're gonna pivot to start questions in a second here. A lot of these teams still don't have coaches. Portland still doesn't have a coach. Chicago doesn't have a coach. Yep. Who's another one that just does? Orlando still don't have a fucking coach. So the Pelicans search or the time they took seems to be much to do about nothing, truthfully. So that's one thing. And look, tomorrow they could announce Sweeney as the new head coach of whatever team, or Billy Donovan as the new head coach of whatever team. The Chiefs, I say the Chiefs, the Knicks, because I'm reading Big Chief's name. The Knicks handling their business early helps a lot for the Pelicans, because I mean we're closer to the offseason. Honestly, I think that the OKC series should be 3-1 OKC right now, but it's 2-2. It might go to 6 or 7. It might go to less than that. Well, it got to go to 6. Probably go to 6 if J-Dub and Mitchell continue to be out.
Yeah, you think what? Who do you think that benefit? Because I know sometimes you think the injuries benefit the opposite team.
I think the injuries benefit the Spurs greatly.
Okay.
Well, J-Dub and Mitchell. Well, Mitchell to a lesser degree because he wasn't playing well. But like, I just don't think this is a matchup for him. But I think it helps. I think it helps
the Spurs
significantly, because the Spurs, to me, looking at like the numbers across the board, they didn't shoot well. But OKC shot even worse, especially from beyond the arc. That's why to me it's always funny with some teams, because you can expect one or two anomaly every fucking series. Like last night, Zesty Mac went 0 for 7. Well, he went like 1 for 8 or something, shit like that from beyond the arc. I'm like, damn, Dustin Mack can't shoot no more. But he just set the world on fire the other night. Like even Mitchell's having an awful series, but we just saw him bust the Lakers' ass. So sometimes the styles make fights, sometimes it's mulligans, and sometimes the lights get a little brighter the higher up the mountain you climb. So we'll see, man.
And the Spurs made a coach. The Spurs made a coaching adjustment. They are playing at home. They raised the intensity. Yeah, and like they stopped doubling shit and just said, look, we're gonna just guard everybody and make them beat me. So we'll see OKC going home, opportunity to make an adjustment, and you see who come out and play.
One thing I will say,
very aggressive as well.
Oh yeah, he started the game extremely aggressive. One thing I will say too, I think people scared of OKC and the San Antonio Spurs is much to do about nothing. Like I talked to you about this like a couple times. Like to me, it's 100% styles make fights, bro. Because if I'm Denver, there's no way I'm looking at either one of them teams and just like they way better than me. Like no, as long as I got Jokic, I don't give a fuck what's happening. Like I want a ring. Like, and that's another thing too, bro. The league parity. We don't know what's gonna happen this year, but there's a chance that we'll have another new NBA champion this year. Every team aside from OKC that has gone to the finals haven't gone back.
Yes.
So like every time we think this crazy window is open, like Phoenix went to the finals and lost, they'll be back. No, they won't.
No.
Milwaukee went to the finals. They might have a series. I mean, they might have a dynasty. No, they don't. No. Like Indiana,
multiple new champions.
Yeah, Indiana might go. It's like
you thought, Boston. Boston was going to be
one this year. No, they didn't. Like league parity is at all-time high. But yo, shout out to everybody in the building, man. I got 60-something likes. Let's get it up to 75. We'll be out of here. We about to get to the start questions, man. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. I'm gonna run this video again. And man, shout out to Chris working with Zion, man. Zion, we need your best and final effort this season, bro. Because if it don't work out this season, it's over for everybody. Yo, that boy Zion be in the trenches too. I saw Zion. Zion showed love to the kids. Zion was in the trenches the other day. Shout out to Zion, man. I like to see brothers showing love to the kids. So shout out to our dog Ed Johnson in the building, man.
Good, bro.
Always showing love, man. Shout out to Ed. Big Major said Mold. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go to the start question real quick. Do you expect a big year from Z?
I do.
Like a typical Z. Like I don't think last year was a typical Z.
expect. Hold up. Let me. I expect that number 1 seed. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say some numbers. I think that's better. I think Zion gonna average 25, 6, and well, I'm gonna say 25, 6, and 5. But I think he's gonna do that. I expect this team to be improved. So those numbers don't sound out of worldly, but I expect a better defensive effort. And to me, those are where I'm putting reasonable numbers. I do think you can see a 27-7 guy. Depends on today. This year he did a great job with his free throw efficiency, but you got to get the calls firstly, and then you got to take more than 13 shots.
I think in it regarding Z, I think they're going to have how early in the season the focus was like Zion or like we saw Zion look amazing early in the season, right?
Yeah, like the first first couple games, especially. No, that was a different guy. Yeah,
that motherfucker was 27-9 and 7 on like 4 or 5 steals a game, and then I think the body came back to earth a little bit when he had the early injury. So I've been saying this. I thought he was playing a little hesitant throughout the season.
I think far too often in Zion's tenure, Zion could have had 40 points. Like now you got 36 points on 14 shots, bro. You can go get 40 right now. And you're like, it ain't worth the injury. I'm gonna sit him down. And it's like, but even what I'm saying is also, I ain't even saying playing them extra minutes. It's been too many times. Now I do know they had the metrics like the burst and all that shit, the way they like know where his body is set up. And I can't doubt them because Zion's had a bunch of injuries. So
I can doubt them. I doubt them. I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead. Tell me why.
I'll tell you why I doubt them. Because this season was the first season Joe Dumars was like, get that dumbass shit out of here. We need the dude to play.
But I'm sorry, but it did come at the price of lesser utilization, career low utilization.
I think that's coaching.
Could be as well. I agree.
I think that's terrible coaching.
I agree. Because
I think that's terrible coaching and structure.
You're like, we just not gonna give him the ball for 4 or 5 minutes. We're gonna give it to Herb.
No, I'm watching them. Yeah, I'm watching them. I'm watching as the team tries to develop. Again, they wanted to play, and I'm not saying that you don't do this, but like again, we talk about the coach, and there was no hierarchy. There was no true system. It was
rough.
There still was no like. I know they said they weren't worried about the X's and O's, but the X's and O's were not good. So like, if I'm Z, though. Y'all motherfuckers got it.
Like go ahead.
Yeah, y'all
take your ass around the corner and let them fuck your head up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my 60 games played or whatever, so I can get my paper. And I don't even mean that in no negative way, bro. I really don't. I just think they started the season off and Z was on demon time. Like, remember, it was the stay over there and all of that, and you saw that motherfucker coming out aggressive. So I just think moving forward, and then Joe Dumars being like, no, if you could play, go play. Yeah. Like, we're gonna play you in back-to-backs. Oh, he was sick, he gonna try and play. We are going to let you play. As opposed to previous, it'll be like, we're gonna play him in bursts, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's like, nah, play that motherfucker in these back-to-backs. Under the previous regime, I don't think you ever get the 30 consecutive games or whatever the streak was. And then
only missed one, playing. Right? With the ankle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
After that, he only missed like one.
Exactly. So I'm just saying to, in my opinion, why I say scratch all that shit they was talking about. I think part of the problem that I think we had was that he was coddled too much early. Joe Dumars ain't for that. It's like, dog, go play. I got the losers out the building. We got you a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gonna figure the rest of this out. Go do what you came here to do. Because it's not you out anyway.
I'm glad they put that. Shout out to Zion's camp, and I think there's a shout out to Duffy and the crew and Chris and all those guys working with him. Like, like the people need to see the work. There's a ton of doubt surrounding the situation. Sure, he's frustrated, but it's like, bro, hey, you can control the narrative from now on. You just gotta be consistent moving forward. And I think everyone is giving I think everyone, for the most part, at least if you're a reasonable person, you got to go into the season with goodwill because this is a new regime. There is some carryover player wise, but I'm giving Joe them the benefit of the doubt personally.
And his contract,
and his contract, So
too.
Zion, if you're not gonna do it for the fans,
do it for the money. Do it for the money.
Right. So we will get to the star questions, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the bell notification as well. Thanks. Consider becoming a member. Hit the join link. Shout out to our homie Michael Morgan, always in the building. Michael Morgan with the 2-piece. Much love to you, brother. We appreciate your support on both shows. Make sure y'all go subscribe to PELS and Blender also. J. Cal said, y'all seen the post about Tyrese Maxey? Yes, we did, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, we did, boy. But you know what, too? And like I told Al, there's two things, because I forgot something. For one, we all kind of presuming that the Pelicans wouldn't have really just fucked it up with Tyrese Maxey, because where you're drafted is super important. Absolutely. And also, Joe Dumas, you can just tell Borrego wasn't coming back. Whoa, what up with your Dev? What up, Dev? You can tell Borrego wasn't coming back, son. I told you, like, I watched that post-game presser, and Joe was like, motherfucker try to take a shot at him. Like, yeah, we don't see you during the games. He was like, well, I've been sitting in the suite for years. So I did that in Detroit. But he was like, when I'm watching these games and I'm like, if the team was bad and we were just getting blown out, I would be like, all right,
gotta go.
Yeah, everybody gotta go. Pretty much. But he's like, we should have won a lot of these games. And that goes to show you that, like, look, shout out to my dog Ross. Ross used to say, look, close losses, coaches. Big losses, players. Pelicans had an insane amount of blown leads in the fourth quarter, bro. And it's ridiculous.
To have little nugget also to help emphasize that point is Willie lost the players. You started seeing the blowouts, right? Borrego, who's only slightly better than Willie, in my opinion, and that's still questionable. You started seeing the closer games, and you still could not close. Also, while playing the roster in a roster disadvantage, in my opinion, right? If you can get Mosley, who I think is significantly better than both, I just think it just not maximum. It's just going to look significantly different than what it is. Like you said, the writing was on the wall for Borrego. No, it's okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, and it wasn't written in Braille. You could see that shit. People, I'm like, I don't know how people thought he was actually. But yeah, shout. Thanks for doing the right thing, Joe.
Yeah, shout out to CAA.
Yeah, shout out to CAA, man. I'm available. Y'all taking on new clients. And shout out to all the troops, man. Happy Memorial Day as well. So we got my dog tackling in the building. He said, can we finally trade Zion, chedda-chaz? I've seen enough. Hey, if shit don't go right, that'll probably be on the table, big brother. I ain't gonna lie to you, Spectacular. Spectacular Insight back. He says, what's the projected starting five at this current juncture? What you got, L?
DeJounte, DeJounte, Z, Trey, Bay, and Missy.
I agree. I was about to say that boy about to say, boy, what a boy said. We going small. We starting Herb and Bay.
Listen, bro, there's no way.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Listen. I know. I know Willie wouldn't announce the starting lineup. If this dude announced the starting lineup, or if I see the starting lineup and it don't have a center in it, I'm out.
Oh yeah, I'm out immediately.
I'm out. I'm not. I'm out.
It would, like, to me, you would have to have, like, only way I can let you live with doing something like that is if everybody in the starting lineup shooting like 40% from three. I'd be like, damn, this the Rockets.
Listen, and this is the thing. I can't start with it. I gotta damn, Herb shooting really well this year.
Right.
He's shooting really well.
It's gotta be an adjustment I make when I hit a roll. Like damn, something different. Like damn, we won 5 in a row, but we just lost 2-3 in a row. We got to change something up. And it's like, let's do this. It gotta be something along those lines. I agree.
Yeah.
Chris, what up? It's on me, Chris Lambert. He said, what price tag would y'all trade Murphy for?
What's yours? Because I already know. I already know mine. I told you I need. I know a lot of people talk about the picks and stuff. I need a blue chipper. I just need.
Yeah.
If I'm moving trade, I need high upside somewhere.
I need a blue chipper and.
Would you move trade for Mitchell?
Which Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell? I wouldn't give him no. If it was just Trey and salary, maybe. Because Donovan Mitchell 30, and I'm starting to see some signs of like, ooh,
decline.
Boy. Yeah, I'm starting to see them signs of decline are starting to like showcase. So if you know what though? If I thought the Pelicans were a Mitchell away from a championship, absolutely I would. But I think if I move Mitchell, now I'm like, okay, now I just need a third guy or fourth guy. Like, I'm in a better situation, but I'm not like way better. And I think you only trade for Mitchell really if you're trying to go for a championship, honestly.
Yeah. I move trade for either a young blue chip or like Jaylen Brown level player.
I saw your question, Jess and Slim Side. I saw both of y'all questions.
Jaylen Brown trade a move for me.
Oh, for Jaylen. Yeah, if it's like Jaylen Brown, I think I'm trading Zion for Jaylen Brown.
Either one. Like
I would, because then
I'd rather have we had that conversation. I'd rather have JB and Zion.
Yeah.
As opposed to JB and Trey.
Yeah.
That's just me.
But see, that's the thing too. I agree with you. But I'm like, if they came down to it, it was like, no, we want Zion. I'd be like, all right, now I gotta do it. And I'm just like, all right, JB. Now we about to just JB trade fears. No, we about to just add. We gonna go get the best talent we could get.
Can you do it again?
Yeah, JB, can you do it again? Like now we about to get it because people talk all that shit about the East. The West, though, the West had significant tanking teams, and you had the Pelicans who weren't tanking but were bad, right? The East only had Washington. Chicago didn't tank to the end of the season. Brooklyn started tanking like midway through the season. Indiana was tanking. That's 3 tanking teams. Milwaukee didn't start tanking to the end of the season. Meanwhile, in the West, you had Utah tanking, Memphis tanking, Sacramento,
Steph got hurt early. Jimmy got hurt early.
Jimmy tore his ACL. Dallas, Kyrie was out all year. The Pelicans was ass all year. So it's like the East regular season. The East gonna be significantly better next year, in my opinion, because you got to think some of them teams. Let's say like the Raptors, for example. You're not playing Indiana, and the Cavs had a bunch of guys miss games in the regular season, but you're not playing Indiana and Washington a total of 8 times next season. Them dudes trying to win now.
I also think Houston take a step back unless they make some kind of decent addition to be.
They got to get a point guard bad.
Yeah, if they don't, I know Fred coming back, but you still got to see it. So I see Houston coming back to the pack a little bit.
And I don't even think he's the type of point guard they need neither.
You don't know what Phoenix gonna look like next season. Like,
it's like if Booker missed any time, Phoenix in the lottery.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks missed time and
Phoenix is back in the lottery. It's rough. But I would say if I could get a blue chipper and a couple picks, I'm with it. But but it also got to be, what up with you, Looney? It also got to be from a team that I could project not to be good in a couple years. Yeah. Like if they was going with hypothetically speaking, if Golden State pick 11 turned into a blue chip guy, like, oh, this motherfucker might be all right. Like he might be good. And they was like, we'll give you him and we'll give you our post Steph first, 2 of our post Steph first, and maybe a swap. Well, fuck, I might not need to swap. 2 post Steph first, unless it's hypothetically say swap. Oh, yeah, I would probably do it. I would probably do it. So
I can see that.
All right, so Anthony said, Chaz, really bright future is pushing it. Can you tell us, I guess, if Zion to stay healthy, the guy his whole career he's been injured and hasn't been able to keep his weight down. That's not true, Anthony. Zion, I don't know how close you follow the Pelicans. Zion, year before last, didn't have he was extremely healthy. Zion this past year was extremely healthy as well. It didn't have any.
Yeah, Zion this season looked good.
Shit.
This season,
boy, never mind. I figured it out. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, Zion this season was relatively healthy. Played 60 some games. Last year, if the team wasn't so bad, could have played in more back-to-backs. Could have played probably 50 some games, and then the year before that, he played 70 games. So like, Zion is kind of like we have to like people. The only thing I'll say, and we can move on, but like when you look at games played, people gotta also remember like the situation and circumstances of the teams when these players are going through like the games played stuff. Like for Ja,
that matters like, a lot.
Right? Ja didn't play. People like Ja ain't played 6 games in a row, and I don't know how long. And it's like, well, he had the suspension, which was one thing. Come back from the suspension, played a couple games, got hurt for the season. Shook back from that, and then working his way back into it, and then made it back for the playoffs. Remember, got hurt again.
Yeah,
came into the season, was playing, and then they decided to be bad. So, like, do I think Ja was hurt last year? I don't know, but when they decide to tank, you can't mess up the asset and have him potentially hurt again when you're trying to move him.
Yeah.
So, like,
that as well.
You gotta keep people just gotta keep the understanding of what be going on when you have like the games played at the end. Like Zion had 29 games played a year ago, but realistically they shut him down with damn near a month left in the season.
This year, Zion probably could have played
probably 70 games.
And listening to Chris's podcast, I don't know if he would have. They did their due diligence. His trainer Chris. They did the due diligence in gearing him up for a return, but Zion wanted to return even earlier. I think they missed 10 days. He wanted to return even earlier than that. Because so Zion probably could have played 70 games this year, which would have been kind of like crazy. But that also would have told you how bad this team is because they didn't.
Exactly.
Well, how bad at least the coaching. Maybe we'll see if it was just the coaching though. Mr. Hennessy, what up with your Hennessy? So Donovan Mitchell, Amazon, Cleveland, Trey Hurd, Poole, and Milwaukee, 27 for Spider. That's too much. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a bit.
If Spider was 25, let's do it. But that's too much.
You got me. What if it was like Herb DeJounte Poole?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If it was Herb DeJounte Poole and at 27 first, I might consider it. Because one thing to say too, to me, I'm more inclined not to trade that first every day. Because for one, if I trade that first, I don't have a pick. Right. So I gotta at least wait. In my opinion, you gotta at least wait and see what happens.
What Milwaukee look like.
What that draft day. What Milwaukee look like and what that lottery look like. Because if you trade that pick, whoever you trade that pick for, it better be worth 2 first. That motherfucker better be worth 2 first. If you trade that pick, that better be a 2 pick motherfucker. And also, your pick better not be good. Like, you better be giving up pick
15 at
your own pick better be in the 20s.
That's what that's playoffs. I'm saying you gotta at least be a playing team.
Yeah, you gotta at least, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cole. I just highlighted your question, big dog. Also the Bucks, to me, again, I ain't really tripping on the draft because you never know until you know. But I think if you trade that pick, it got to be a home run guy. It got to be a trade for Ware. I probably would do it if I felt like I could turn Ware into. I'm probably a comparable player. If I could turn Ware into what's a comparable guy? There ain't a lot of great bigs in the NBA. I ain't gonna lie. Really not a lot of great, great bigs on every team.
Because you can't say Wemby because that's
that's ridiculous,
outlier.
Right? If I would say if I could turn Ware into a very good player, like because I was trying to think of an example of it has to be a former player.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is terrible,
bro. Like realistically, if you look at that archetype, right? Like other than Wemby. Like this, this is something that we might need to consider in the conversation. Other than Wemby, right? Like Chet is good, but like he's in an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Other than that, Kristaps hadn't been healthy. Who else do they have?
Like those unicorn type guys?
Yes. Who else is built like that? It's not many.
A lot. Kessler got a lot of muscle, so he's not exactly like that. Like he's not thought of an athletic guy necessarily.
No. Laurie is different, but
so
he's more of a wing.
You would have to say if I could turn Ware into like Timu Wemby from the standpoint of Wemby's 7'5", and to me, 80% of Wemby's game is that I'm 7'5". Like to me,
bigger than everybody.
I'm just taller than everybody, right? If I can, Ware has, he's 7'2" according to some people, can shoot, hell of an athlete, can defend the rim a little bit, to me, Pelicans would be perfect for him because all those defensive principles that he lacks, he would find here under Mosley's tutelage.
I agree. And he would get the playing time. And he'd get the playing time. And I think offensively, looking at Mosley's system, I think it'll fit. Yeah. Like how they use their centers, I think it'll fit what he wants to do as far as like a spacing perspective and whatnot. I think it'll be that's the fucking target, though.
I probably would do it if it was Ware. I ain't gonna lie.
That's the target, bro.
So Paperboy say Black Isaac for Herb and Looney expiring. Yo, you know what? Shout out to Cole. Paperboy, I'm gonna say I probably wouldn't pick up Looney's contract for salary reasons and for roster spot reasons because the Pelicans need an additional roster spot, in my opinion. So I probably wouldn't do that trade. I would have done it before, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like a couple seasons ago, I thought Isaac could turn it around. But shout out to Cole in the super chat. He said turn him into Lauri Markkanen. To me, Lauri Markkanen is a 3, though. That's interesting. To me, Lauri Markkanen is a big ass 3.
Like a 7-foot wing. Yeah.
Yeah, he like a big 7 foot.
Now listen, if
7 foot cock diesel wing. That's interesting. Play style.
If we're gonna play like Wemby on the perimeter, I don't think you could do that. I don't think his game is that. But fuck, if he got some KG in his game, I ain't mad.
I got to go back and watch Wemby. I mean, I got to go back and watch Ware college tape because I didn't watch Ware in college really.
Nah, Ware college tape, he was like a really good offensive player in like the college tape. He was shooting threes over motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Now he wouldn't necessarily put it on the floor. Yeah. He wasn't putting it on the flow like that, but he was raising up over people. He got a relatively decent hand. He like post fades and shit like that. Like he got some offensive game to him.
Yeah.
So fucking Griffin, bro.
I said congratulations.
The easiest draft trade up in.
Shout out to my dog that just hit me up, man. Congratulations to Coach Mike Brown. Congratulations to Coach Mike Brown. This is his second finals. Because he was with Golden State before, but this is his first finals as head coach.
No, he took LeBron to the
finals. Yeah, Cleveland. I'm tripping. So that's 3. So that's 3. So shout out to the Knicks. Congratulations to the Knickerbockers. About motherfucking time y'all did something.
Listen, don't cap. If the Knicks win the Knicks win the championship, I'm going to the parade.
Where you going to New York?
My wife from New York, though.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Listen, I got family out there. I'm going in that atmosphere, though.
It's a lot of people from New York. I know a lot. I might go. I know a lot of people from New York. I got them as my favorites to win it.
I think so. I ain't gonna lie.
I think they match up well against both teams.
I think
matchups, everything, bro. Honestly, like to me, matchups. That's why I wouldn't be scared of no team right now in the West or in the East. I'm like, I'm not gonna build it to counter you, but I feel like matchups, rule. Truthfully, same with football, in my opinion. Yeah. Dante said Kyrie closer than being back than Dante. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's back.
I take Kyrie.
Yeah, I'll take Kyrie on the team. Yeah, Kyrie got body, man.
Yeah, come on with Kyrie and Kyrie and Derek Lively man. Listen, Kyrie and Derek Lively set this bitch off.
If they ask you for that Milwaukee first for Kyrie and Derek Lively as a tandem, would you do that? I wouldn't do it.
I don't because Kyrie is a little older.
If Kyrie was younger, I would do it.
Kyrie's a little older.
Derek always hurt.
And Derek always hurt. Like that's the thing about Ware's like he typically plays.
And and honestly, I think Ware is better than Derek Lively, but I think Derek Lively was like talent-wise. I don't think he's much better. I think Derek Lively was like getting to the point where he was going to be one of them guys. But
Derek looked like he had stuff in his game, but
we never saw it consistently, sadly. Can we talk about shout out the Big Red Chief? He said, can we talk about the Twitter warriors praising past Pelicans employees? These dudes are whack as hell. And can Kwanzaa say the same things? I've been noticing that too on social media. They glazing all our past employees. Our analytics guys went to the Lakers. They praising him like he's the best in the NBA. Can I answer this, please?
Yes,
and then you
absolutely.
go. I want to say this, right? I want to say this. When people talk about past Pelicans employees, that in a complimentary fashion, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were bad or good. But if they were so good, like this person here was like hit a strategy and things like that, why did the Pelicans consistently deploy such poor strategy from the front office to the court, to the media, from front office to the court to the media? Everything was poor, right? And I think they're hiring this gentleman to be the assistant GM, if I'm not mistaken. Much success to him. But like, come on, like you don't have a list like what I named earlier and had a competent strategist in the front office. Like it was awful. So whatever, relationships rule the nation, dog. That's what I've come to realize.
Also, the only thing is, I don't know that dude's relationship to Rob Pelinka. That might be his homeboy.
Yeah, that's another thing too. How it could just be his friend.
Yeah, Rob Pelinka could be like, oh man, that's so and so from what you call
Trajan hired his college teammate, right?
No, that's Bryson.
Bryson. My bad, Toby.
Bryson had his college teammate. So like, if this dude was looking for a gig, I know there ain't no way somebody looking at the Pelicans analytics and was like, let me go get that guy. We don't do nothing analytically that's superior to nobody. We don't shoot threes. We like fucking. We create the most open looks in the NFL. It's like because Herb wide open.
I think, bro. Again, with some of these people, look, I said this before. When Joe came in and like fired damn near everybody, there's no way you've been a part of an organization for like 10 years, an organization that was failing, and you're not a part of the problem in some fashion. From players to coaches to executives. If you've been a part of an organization that's been failing nearly a decade, that has no history of success, it ain't like it was doing good, then it got fucked up. No history of success, you're a part of the problem.
Yes. Louisiana gal, if you heard what you hearing on her.
Wait, somebody asked about her too, about dog Slim South. Shout out to the homie Jess, man. Jess, my dog. He said, Jess say, who's the first off the bench? I'm gonna say Fierce.
That's a good question. Fierce. I'm gonna say I think Fierce. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Because it could be Herb if Herb off the bench, but could be Poole. I don't think it's gonna be Poole.
Could be Poole.
Could be Poole. That's a great question.
That's a great question. So you got Slim South here. He said, it's her on the trading block. I imagine so.
Yes, I think so.
Cole Khan said, who do you think when you think Joe make the first trade? I'm gonna say draft night.
Draft night?
Mm-hmm.
Before the draft to get the pick.
Ooh.
To say, fuck that, we back in the draft.
Yo.
I'm gonna give y'all about a week or two worth of content.
Trade the Indiana pick before the draft. Yo, Joe, trade a pick during the finals. Trade for a pick during the finals because that'll give us some time for content, and we can.
You know it'll be cold-blooded.
What's that?
Cold-blooded.
When can you trade players? Is the question.
Listen, OKC lose, and then they trade that Bucks pick to OKC. I'm gonna be like, OKC gonna get Giannis.
You know,
that's a conspiracy. That's off the top of the dome, by the way.
I'm like, if you trade the Bucks pick for what, 12 and 17?
12, 12, 17, possibly something future. Who knows? Because you ain't trading the Bucks pick for OKC to actually use it. You traded to them because they targeting Giannis.
Yeah.
So you ain't trading it for like you ain't even really trading it for the picks purpose. You trading it for them to be like, we gonna get the big dog.
You know what's funny? I would say Giannis going to Miami, but nearly every time, every player from Dame to every big trade, they never go where you think they're going.
No, Dame did not want to end up in no.
Yeah, nobody thought he was going to Milwaukee.
Nah.
Man.
Yeah.
So last question. Oh, my bad. So we answered that. And I'll just answer this one. Hazel she said, do you think Zion coming off the bench? I don't think so.
Listen, dog.
That would be
if Zion coming off the bench, I'm out. If Zion coming off the bench, I'm out.
I know you had a real problem with that last season. Like that, everybody came off the bench, but Herb just can't come off the bench. Like,
why would Zion ever have to come off the bench if he not like barely walking or some shit?
Man. Well, shout out to everybody in the building. Thank y'all for joining us. Tell people they can find you at, brother.
Man, PELS on the blender, dog. YouTube, you heard me, or just say Davis on X, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. You know what I mean? Y'all take care of y'all loved ones and whatnot, man. Shout
out to everybody in the building, man. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to PELS in the blender. And also, make sure you hit the bell notification. Consider becoming a member. Hit the join button. I hope this is a busy, active week. I hope this is a busy, active week in the NBA arena because now that a couple teams been eliminated, you're gonna start hearing more. Like, Cleveland been eliminated, who got a lot of players that people gonna have some interest in. I think gonna get more.
Bleacher Report said Donovan Mitchell was heated with the lack of effort on the bench during the game on the sideline.
Well, he was on the bench heated at the lack of effort with the players.
Yes, with his team.
Donovan. No.
The only thing I'm gonna say is that Donovan
part 2 out, bro. My bad. I think my bad. Part 2 is out. Good. I'm pretty sure. If not, I might have moved it to private. But if not, I'm gonna unlock it. Go ahead.
Nah, with them, if that's a true thing, out of there. He's moving this summer.
But that's the thing. If his home was the Knicks initially, Brooklyn.
It ain't there.
Yeah, it ain't there. Unless they lose.
Miami. They can do it. They got the pieces. You can't go get Giannis if you go get Mitch.
You can't get. Well, shit. Well, no.
Well, moving Bam.
Yeah, you ain't moving Bam. But my thing is like, what do Spider and Bam do for you?
Get you to the Eastern Conference Finals.
With Bam?
Who the fuck else they had?
I don't think Spider and Bam doing shit. No, I'm saying in Miami, right?
Bam is...
Oh shit! Would you about to say you think Bam is what?
I think Bam is just as good as Mobley and what you call it?
Oh well,
Mobley and Allen. And you depending on what you getting the deal for.
I don't know, bro. Because I think what helped them out, like Miami, I think Miami in a tough spot because Miami don't have a ton of depth. And I think like Strus free agent. I'm talking about Cleveland, right? Cleveland got this far, in my opinion, because their depth was crazy. Like Strus, then you brought in Schroeder, who didn't do shit really. Then you had Keon Ellis. Like you just had a bunch of bodies you could throw out there. Dean Wade, who's about to be a free agent, who gave you some great defense earlier in the postseason. But now, if you go to Miami, it's like it's gonna be Spider Bam. All right, I'm just gonna like guard the paint.
They could do it for like Tyler Hero and Jovic and like damn near make the salaries work.
Oh,
not saying they did.
About to say, boy, y'all take that return. Yo,
what I'm saying is not
if,
again, Mitch, he about to force that. I think he's gonna force.
You think he's gonna force the issue?
I think he's gonna force the issue.
I think he's too professional. I don't think he'll force the issue.
Fuck that. I think he out of there because Harden not coming back.
Hold up. Yo, dog, that's the thing, bro. If that GM brings James Harden back, that will be one of the greatest mistakes because you're in a tough spot. Because if you James Harden agent, I'm looking for it right now, Cole. Shout out to Jet Style. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciate y'all, man. If they bring James Harden back, that would be one of the worst free agency mistakes since Paul George. And the thing is, I can see James Harden going home to the Rockets. I don't know how, but like if you bring James Harden back, like what are you saying to Donovan? And I know Donovan fuck with James Harden. He like James Harden.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah, not right now, I'm sure. But
man, fuck that. Donovan about to go. Donovan like probably looking at Jared Allen, who constantly been hurt. Mobley didn't show. James Harden, like, unless we about to blow all of that up,
right?
What you about to go trade Mobley and Allen for Giannis? Like, you gonna get in on this Giannis deal? Because if that's not the case, if I'm Mitch and if I'm slowing down, dog, I just watched Brunson go to the finals, dog. Sweet.
And yo, I ain't gonna lie. If James Harden was solid, you win at least one game.
We can't get a game.
You could, dog. He been terrible this entire.
I can't get to Detroit. If I'm Mitch, I can't get to Detroit with Cade.
Yo, Detroit got some options. Kawhi, Spider.
If you serious,
it got to be Kawhi, Spider. And I think the Clippers are more inclined to move Kawhi. Nobody be going. So that arena don't have great attendance anyway.
It don't.
So y'all don't got no chance at a championship. You don't have no assets to even go get a championship. Let's say you draft a cup. It's like, all right, you got the guy. It's time to start over with. Like, man, and look, Kawhi probably like, chilling in LA because who wouldn't? But and that's where he's from. But man, fuck all that. It's time to move on. Like,
Mitch out of there, though. Mr. Detroit.
So, nothing.
Listen, Trajan do that. That's not bad.
If Trajan do that, depending on, but see, here's the thing too. I would prefer Kawhi to Mitchell.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Because I can't have another short guard. Like, even though Cade not short, I just can't have another short guard. Yo, Cole, it was on private. I just unlocked it, Cole. It's called Here's What Happened Part 2. It's called Here's What Happened Part 2 on the membership tier. For y'all who missed it. Shout out to all the new members. Just say, what's the major thing you're looking for in the big? For me, it's defensive rebounding. And the rim protection or defensive rebounding.
I need you to rebound right now. With this team, I need you to rebound. And you know what? I need you to not be an idiot. I need you to be able to screen. I need you to be able to screen and like just rebound the ball, bro.
Look, let's end it on this note. We're going to end it on this note. Pulling up Khalil Ware's numbers. Because it's like, don't even seem inevitable. Again, shout out to everybody in the building. I know we said we were about to end it, but we got to go over this. We just have to. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button, man. We in here. It's Memorial Day. Khalil Ware's numbers. Khalil Ware is 21 years old. He's on a rookie scale deal. He played 77
$4 million
games.
this year, $7 million next year.
Played 77 games. Started 34. Spo was hating on him. 53% for the field. We got to imagine most of that's dunks. Well, 8 attempts. So that's just dunks and threes. Looking at everything. 39% from behind the arc on 3 attempts. 60% on his twos. So all he really do is dunk and shoot threes. So
that's what you want.
Yeah, that's all you want a big man to do, right? 9 rebounds, 11 points, and only 22 minutes.
What season was this? The 25-26 season?
Yep, 25-26. Doesn't really turn the ball over. Doesn't foul a lot either. They're averaging less than 2 fouls. 6 defensive rebounds. Nearly 3 offensive. I think. Make the call, Joe. Make the call, Joe. Say, do I have to refresh to see it? You might have to search it. Call. Might have to search it. Oh man, we didn't answer the question about damn, we did not answer the question. And go, it's on the live videos as well, Cole. If you're looking for like the content, go to live videos and they'll be on there. We didn't answer the question about Messi. I think if Messi put on weight and continue to trend in the direction he's trending, I think Messi's an incredibly solid rotation 5 personally.
I think so.
Yeah, you just gotta continue to trend upwards. Like we talk about Mosley helping Ware. Mosley should be able to help Yves Messi a lot. The thing with Ware versus Messi is, of course, Ware's probably been playing ball a little bit more, and he comes to the team with some of the skill sets that you're already looking for as defensive rebounding and shooting.
So check this out. Some of Kel'el Ware's top performances of this season, right? This season, March 5th, 2026, a 10-point, 10 rebound, 5 block, 5 steal game.
That's all right.
In December 2025, 28 points, 19 rebounds, 11 for 15 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3. That's against the same Knicks that's going to the finals. Against the Cavs, he had 14 points, 20 rebounds. And then against Dallas, in a game against Dallas, he had 22 points and 10 rebounds in 25 minutes and was 4 for 5 from the 3.
I'm gonna say this today. Where is the only? Unless it's like BJ Edgecombe or somebody else.
Oh yeah.
He's the only young player I'm willing to trade that Milwaukee Bucks pick for. Because keep in mind, it's kind of like trading 2 picks. Because you already traded the back end. It paused to Atlanta, I believe, for whack ass DeJounte. Yeah, I said it. It's a terrible fucking trade. But yeah, man. Oh, shout out dog Ed Johnson in the building with the super chat. Just mad. She said, y'all had me going. I thought y'all I'm wide awake. I'm about to go to sleep. He said, with Messi stats by comparison, I'll pull that up as well. Ed Johnson said, would y'all trade Beef Stew and Ron Holland for Hawkins and Messi?
I probably would.
Now see, here's the thing. I gotta
the
have
Messi and Beef Stew is where I'm at.
Cause I think Beef Stew rated out as the best rim defending big this season, if I'm not mistaken. I think
you need a little bit of that rage.
Got that rage, got the toughness. Troy Weaver guy, of course.
Yes.
My hang up here is I gotta move Herb if I'm bringing in Holland, because here's what my hang up lies with this one, because this is a very tough question. Because Beef Stew was incredible last regular season. Now I still need a rotation center, like a second center.
Hawkins so unplayable.
Yeah, but Holland got benched a lot last season, especially in the postseason. Because he's kind of like Herb, but he might be a little better than Herb defensively at this point, and he's young.
Probably more athletic, I'd imagine.
Here's where it gets tough at though. Messi's on a rookie scale deal. Beef Stew getting paid already, and Holland making more money because he was the 5th pick, right?
5th pick in the draft.
So you losing some financial flexibility with that as well, because you sending out like, Holland pretty bad. Like if I had a deal lined up for her, I probably would do it. It's just so tough because I'm thinking about a situation where I got Zion, Isaiah Stewart, and Holland on the court together, even though that might not happen, but just in theory. And I'm like, damn. My defense would be good.
That's very interesting. I consider it for sure. I think gun to my head, I pull the trigger because I think Isaiah Stewart during the season is probably more valuable than anybody else during the regular season. And Messi's still an unknown, even though I like what he's been doing. But Hawkins, like, even if Ron Holland, like, like you can't put Hawkins on the court. Like
yeah.
Like so, like even if you don't like Hollins, like you like Hawkins don't defend, Hawkins don't dribble, Hawkins don't shoot, Hawkins just.
That's the thing too. Like, how in the fuck you supposed to be this analytically driven team and you draft Hawkins, and Hawkins wasn't really a great shooter in college either. So what drove that decision? Like it's total stupidity. Just say one of the major changes we ain't made in the past few years was moving Herb. Having Herb come off the bench, that could be the secret to winning. I was one of the people that thought that Herb could be a backup point guard. But here's the thing. I think you could have did that when Herb was making $15 million, $14 million, $12 million. Now that he's making 20, it's like, whoo, you got to at least be Lou Dort during the regular season.
No, yes, bro.
And that's what, like, the money is what, like, fuck it up for me. Like, it to me, and that's the same thing with Ed question, like with Beef Stew and Holland for Hawkins and Measy, is like the thing, even let's say if a person, just generally speaking, if a person didn't like Yves Measy, what Yves Measy got, and Holland has this as well, but Holland, you know, again, he's like a Herb type player. What Yves Measy has that a lot of players don't have, that makes him a valuable asset. He's on a rookie scale deal, he's young, and he's 7 feet tall.
I can see Chicago or Detroit calling about Measy as being a Trajan and a Bryson guy. So I can see both of them calling. I can
see Chicago calling back because that was something that was discussed before. I can see Chicago doing it. If Mara was on the board, it's 16, 15. I think it's 16. I would do it. Because Mara is and like, I don't know what Mara gonna become, but the idea of that player, and you know, I could probably get a player too, maybe.
I don't think there's no way Mara at 16. If Mara at 16, something that went terribly wrong.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really want to keep Eve though. Like I really do.
Listen, I've been rewatching the film. I've been rewatching the film, and I truly believe Eve did not get a fair shot this season.
He ain't get a fair shot at all, man. He ain't get a fair shot at all, bro.
Shot this evening. And what he was asked, all of the bigs, in my opinion, were played in non-ideal circumstances, non-ideal situations. So, like, I don't even know how, because Eve, for what it was, he did get better during the season, but I don't know how much better he could have gotten if he would have got consistent run. And there was no reason for him to not be the starting 5. Even if you was going to play Queen, you could have started Queen at the 4 and played the 2 bigs and at least gave it a legitimate shot to see what Measy was going to be able to do. So the problem I have with that is again, I feel like we wasted a year as far as like from Eve's perspective. Yeah. Like we wasted a year of what could Eves be? Now I got more questions about what Eve's development is.
And look, I got Eve's numbers on the screen here, right? Like we already went over Wares, but here's Eve's numbers from going into his second year, where of course, you know, he's playing 7 less minutes. Well, that's just that's really
you can't
like
compare
6.
his stats to West stats.
No, yeah, I'm not doing like apples.
Not you, I meant like for Jess. I hope that's not like with the comparison, because that's 2 completely different types of players.
So let's say, like, all right, so Eve, 54% from the field. We already know how Eve scores. 5 total rebounds, average 8 last year, average damn near double last year.
Yes.
Improved in blocks like this upcoming year. To me, where Eve took a step back that I'd like to see him do better at is shooting free throws. I think Eve has a nice free throw like stroke pause. Yeah, but it just, you know, it didn't hit home this year. Pause again. But doesn't foul a lot. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It would take a really nice deal for me to trade Eve. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I am a fan of Eve's game, and I think Eve played with a certain intensity that some of the other guys don't match. like when you get to that Orlando versus and even with the first Chicago game, the first game, I think it was the first Chicago game. No, maybe might have been the second one.
That was they played. You talking about last year or the season before?
The Chicago game this year in New Orleans, where Eve was just like dominating.
Eve played really well.
Played really well, right? Where Khalil Ware is a 5. Just Khalil Ware is also a 5. I think Khalil Ware is 7 too.
If I could get Ware and keep Eves, I would run that.
That would be my plan, honestly.
I would run that. Like that's why I would be willing to give up the pick if I could keep Ware. If I could get Ware, keep Eves, and then have DQ as like a designated 4, because now I got 2 bigs that could play the 5 no matter what, and put him on a court with either one. Like, yeah.
To me,
Jess, I understand. Jess, I'm just saying, like,
and I
Where
got a higher upside, and like today he's the better player. He's the better player today, and he has the high upside, and he got he's a better defensive rebounder. Probably the shot block is debatable, but he's the better player today. And like the thing with Eve, in my opinion, is I would like to see them two play together because I don't think they couldn't play together. I think you could play way at the 4 if you wanted to. But now I also think you'll have. I think Eve, if they get Ware,
nothing at the rim, bro. Nothing at the rim.
If they get Eve, if they get Ware, and I'm like, Eve, what I need you to do, put on about 10, 15 pounds. You about to be the big bodied center because Eve already like the guard in the post. And his I did a breakdown the other night. His jump off of one leg is incredible at deflecting shots and rim protection. Man, can you imagine that tandem?
No,
can you fucking imagine? And
you know what it would be? It would be a younger version of fucking, not offensively. It would be a Jared Allen, fucking
Mobley type thing. Yeah, well, you got incredible size and wingspan and defense in theory. Now, here it go again.
Oh my gosh.
To me, I know. Look. Before you get too happy, here it go again. But what you doing, Derek Queen? Like, so that's what today's show. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, man. We ran long, but we enjoyed talking to y'all. Happy Memorial Day. Much love to the troops. Y'all have a great, prosperous week. Hit the like button again on your way out. Hit the bell notification. Make sure you subscribe to PELS in the Blender. Check out L. Hopefully, we have an exciting trade week. Some stuff start moving, hopefully. And we're going to see. But we out. Peace.